The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Check. Check. Oh, great. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. For some fucking reason, my OBS decided to just remove the the microphone from my fucking configuration. How fucking grand. Let's see if this fixes itself here. Check. Check. Oh, great. Okay, well, we can't chalk this up to my well, I guess we can track it up to my stupidity today. Because apparently, I don't know. I don't know why the fuck OBS decided to do that. But it was working yesterday. I didn't do a goddamn thing. But, well, let's start over. All right. Well, as always, let's show our gratitude and appreciation for all those that have chosen to spend their time with us here today. Starting off with Coda's Gaming and Podcasting, Ronald Booth, the man with two first names, the man who wields the shiny wrench, Chad, Z, the Reaper, the Nine Gods himself, Nicky Nines, Chelsea Castillo, Tiff, Irish Dave, Waffled Microphone, Chinese Agent, and occasional chef, Travis TLC, Bam 6956, Danimal, KC is Raw, Chili Cheese J, Tab, and I'm sure YR is, somewhere around. He is sending me messages that I was muted, so thankfully that was corrected. Well, the doors are open now to the diner, so we're going to just ignore the fact that the locks, we're a little fidgety, but we're in now. And actually, there it is. Nikki, you're right. It was Windows that updated last night. Had to wait for like 30 minutes for the thing to fucking... I was like, I want to go to bed. It's like, no, we're going to keep running. All right, well, perfect. That solves that. It wasn't a Hawkmon. So, quite a lot to discuss. Tiff had actually mentioned earlier in the chat. Says, looking forward to this, Dave. Well, I believe you will, because there's stuff in here that many people should be privy to. And, well, let's get to it. As you may have heard yesterday, and as well as today, with Nikki Nines reviewing what recently happened with Bodark, Scott has crawled out from under his rock and is now thinking that he can just carry on as he did before. Because apparently he doesn't seem to understand the law or the fact that the courts have been affected by COVID. But okay, you want to play it that way? No problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to reveal information I've been sitting on for quite some time. Now, yeah, this is something that I have chosen not to reveal because I thought that perhaps, Scott had sort of understood the situation that he was in. And, I recognized that it was quite a serious situation. So I said, there's really no need to continue to do this because he has more important issues to handle. Well, apparently he would rather continue on with his criminality, and we have no other choice than to proceed to the next level. And I will be breaking down, and this might have to be a separate video, but I'm going to give you a nice tour of Fort McMurray's politicians and civil servants, and you'll easily be able to contact these individuals to figure out whether or not they know of the criminal within their midst. But, okay. Scott wanted to fuck around? Well, I guess now he's going to find out. Scunty. Did you know that those police visits that you had for your wellness checks, I didn't send them to you, nor did anyone in this community did. However, Nikki Nines did sort of allude to certain things, saying that you need to look closer to home. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look. Here's a screenshot image of an email. The email is from Scott's sister, Nikki McDonald, who actually just subscribed to my channel today. So, Nikki, I hope you're watching. If you want to call in, feel free to reach out for me, Devious Dave Rose, 3 separate words on Skype, and I can discuss these issues with you if you would like. But technically, all that information is there. So it's up to you to spend the time and basically figure out what your brother's been doing. And I can assure you, there's a lot of illegal acts. And let's continue. Let's now that we've got this screenshot displayed, I will read it out for those that might be driving or unable to pay attention to the screen. So Nikki says, "Hi there. And then, thank you for reaching out to me. I didn't see your message earlier. It must have been in my spam folder." She proceeds and says, "I've been trying to get him," Scott, "into a fully sponsored rehab program, and he won't accept it. Unfortunately, I believe he will end up in jail. I think that is going to be what it takes for him to get help, or he is going to die, either by suicide or overdose. He just found out this week he is in first stage liver failure. I just don't know what to do anymore. It's so sad." And I will have to agree with her. It is sad. "I actually work for Safe Families in London, Ontario. I'm trying my best to figure something out." Then you need to speak to me about the Mental Health Act in Alberta. Because, yes, you can get people against their will to be essentially taken into custody and to be given treatment. So the MHA, Mental Health Act of Alberta. But let's continue. "I reached out to some of the program managers here to see if they can offer me any advice on what I can do. Do you know what drugs he may be using? Any information would be greatly appreciated." Okay, so this is just the start here, people. This is just the start. But I want to go back to the chat. We're going to take our time. Okay, actually, we have Nikki in the chat. So Nikki says he knows that I sent them. Nikki, if you want to call in, you can call in to speak public with me, or we can handle it on a private call. Totally up to you. What needs to be understood here is that I'm not doing this out of spite or vengeance. I'm doing this because many of us have reached the point where we can no longer tolerate Scott criminality, and that includes harassment, apart from death threats and doxing and other illegal acts. So the problem with Scott is that he obviously has some sort of obsessive compulsive nature where if you reject him and just say, I don't want to deal with you, I want you to leave me alone, I won't even contact you, it only leads to an explosion of anger and violence from Scott. And we see this from the way he treats his equipment, his computer equipment and stuff. But you can't just let him go. He will not let you go. He has this obsessive manner around him that he just will not allow you. Okay, yeah, you messaged me on Instagram. Perfect. So I'll have to check that as soon as I can log into Instagram because my phone battery died. And that'll probably have to be Monday, unfortunately, because they won't have the fucking battery till then. But maybe I can get in earlier. I'll see what I can do. But yes, it would be good to speak about this because I can just give you all the necessary information that you might be missing, give you some history and history and some knowledge as to my experience, and maybe that will assist you further in getting Scott help. Something that I had tried to keep private in the community and only revealed it to Scott, who in turn basically just blabbed it on everyone, is that I take care of my father who's got dementia. And it's a very difficult job. And despite that, Scott thought it was perfectly acceptable for him to advertise this sort of thing in an attempt to try to get one at me. Now, that's clearly vengeful. And it goes in total contradiction to what he says. What he's currently doing by claiming that he's met God again, he's good with God, and that he's changing, it doesn't seem very likely due to the fact that we see him on Bodark's channel, for example, doing exactly what he's been doing for the past few years, and essentially creating these sorts of divisions which inevitably lead to the conflict where Scott can come in and start to essentially act like a hostage taker. And there's a saying that Mars Mira has created, and okay, we'll talk Monday, Nikki. There's a saying Mars Mira said is that Scott doesn't want friends; he wants hostages, and it's unacceptable. The stuff that he's done, the criminal acts that he's taken. I mean, he even said that he was going to swat YR. And then he says, well, I didn't do it. The thing he doesn't seem to understand is that he's actually committed a crime. And yeah, many people in this community just don't have the chutzpah or the desire to pursue things further. But I got so sick and tired of this shit, the constant harassment and the threats and everything, that I really, reached the end of my rope and decided to take action. And that's when Scott really started to get scared because he started to realize that I did know what I was talking about, especially when it came to the law, and that he had been very sloppy in the way that he had conducted himself and essentially just advertised throughout the internet his criminality. So this is, definitely something that is quite evident, and it's been rampant, to be quite honest. So Scott, I'm sure, is trying to portray himself as a victim, and in the communications he's had with you, I'm sure he's tried to make it look like I'm committing illegal acts, that I'm harassing him and doing all these things, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So yeah, that's something that I'm concerned with, and many other people are as well. So circling back here, as that red-headed bitch does with Joe Biden's questions, Scott was trying to make it appear like the police visits that he received over those few weeks ago was due to somebody in the community calling the cops on him on false allegations and essentially trying to intimidate or scare him. And that obviously is not the case. But he's been trying to portray that. So if he's been talking with his sister and he knows that she was the one that sent him. Well, it looks like yet again Scott is choosing to be disingenuous with the facts and choosing to lie about what's going on, which yet again is usually the biggest indicator that he's really just trying to play things. I've received a few screenshots here. I do want to say one thing though, that this is from, actually I'm gonna have to show this so that everyone knows that this is what I'm talking about here. So just bear with me. But this is something that obviously I think we should also discuss. If this thing will fucking go. No? Okay, well, fuck you. I'll make you go. Wanted to get started as quick as possible today, so unfortunately did not get all these things loaded into OBS. So almost there. Okay. So let's go to this screenshot here. Now these comments are from a show that YR showed the other day, or yesterday, I believe. And this is where he was getting comments from Nikki as well. And I just wanted to show what Nikki said, so at least I can address some of this stuff here. Because, I don't know, there's some things that I don't necessarily agree with. And I think that needs to be addressed. But my issue isn't with you, Nikki. So Nikki had said in this message under the video, I'm already informed. I can't control what my brother does. But that's the thing, though. I believe that, from my knowledge of how the laws work in Alberta, under the Mental Health Act, you do have the ability of having someone submitted to basically therapy and other forms of assistance against their will. So I'm aware of all the channels. I think this whole community is toxic. No, see, what you need to understand, Nikki, is that the community was not toxic until Scott got here. People were having fun. People were associating with whoever they wanted. It was Scott that really caused the avalanche because he's the one that generated the toxicity and he's the one that just allowed it to fucking explode and totally consume him. And people eventually got burnt out of that. They're like, no, I don't really like this anymore. I don't like the fact that I'm being dictated to by this guy who's clearly mentally ill. And despite the fact that we constantly try to help him, we're constantly getting, threatened, harassed, attacked. And, it's all him. You say you believe by default all humans are toxic. I personally do not. And you either choose to participate in toxicity or not. You say you don't personally think or feel anything negative towards any of the people involved in this thing. I'm not a judge of other human beings. Everyone has a story. You say there are no good people. I don't necessarily agree with that. Their throat is open, an open grave. They use their tongues to deceive. The venom of asps is upon their lips. Their mouths are full of curses and bitterness. But the thing is, the truth will set you free, and this is the truth. And God favors the righteous. So unlike Scott, who goes around trying to proselytize others and actually speak in such a way to sort of diminish and dismiss their views, because, he reached the point where his liver failed, and now, he wants to, I guess, garner some sort of sympathy. So he's now spouting out scripture without any knowledge of it. So this is, obviously something that I take issue with, because it actually is revealing where Scott actually stands. He's not actually repentful as he said he is. He's not really interested in living his own life. And most importantly, he's not interested in leaving us alone. That's all we ever wanted. There's been years and years of us just saying the exact same thing. Scott, just leave us alone. And they block him. And we all know this. We've seen his streams, 12 hours, 24 hours, where he's on a rant. And he refuses to accept the fact that people don't want to deal with him. He believes that he is owed this. And yeah, it is a very sad situation, Nikki, but the fact is he is committing crimes and he's only going to get himself in jail for it. I mean, all he really has to do is just do what people have asked, is leave us alone. But he's clearly chosen that that's what he wants. He wants to continue on his path. We tried for years to help him out. We couldn't do anything about it. In fact, it burned all of us. Every single one of us that tried to help Scott out, it burned us entirely. And it reached the point where so many of us just got so sick of it that we decided to take action. And despite what Scott has said in the past, he has no knowledge of the law. And it's going to get him in trouble. He keeps claiming that my statements on the law are going to get me in trouble. But the fact is that he is literally spouting things that are dangerous in regards to the law, suggesting certain things that would get one in trouble if they attempted to do them. And it's just unacceptable. We've reached a point where we don't want to deal with it. And I mean, until Scott decided to come back, I wasn't even doing any more videos on him. I was talking about other stuff, doing some video game streams, other things. But clearly it's Scott who's the problem here. And if Scott wants to do this, then he's only going to get what he wants. It's as simple as that. Well, that's good. That's good, Nikki, that you have been watching the shows, because it'll give you a better idea as to what the situation is now. But it's not always been so visceral. Things started out fairly nicely, about 4 years ago when he showed up. And the whole thing that really got him in was, or at least that got him so obsessed, was he baked a cake for this guy, Joe Cronin, who I'm sure you're aware of. And, well, he wasn't featured on the show. So at that point, his obsession took off, and it just truly revealed where he was coming from. Wow, Yig revealed some very interesting information. I gave him hundreds of dollars so he could pay his rent. He turns around and says, I was trying to fuel his alcohol addiction. Wow, that's news to me. Nikki says, there are so many other shows that don't mention Scott, but there are other people fighting and exposing. Bullfrog, maybe? I don't know. Bullfrog is a community hoe. He jumps around everywhere for attention. I'm not sure if I guess that is him. There are some people, but that's the thing though, Nikki, you need to understand is that there are a lot of people that don't want to talk about Scott. Why? Because somebody responded the way I did or somebody else did. TV sucks. Nikki, I don't watch any TV either, but I'm losing my train of thought here. What was I saying? God damn it. Let's see. Gave him hundreds of dollars so he could pay. Oh, wow, that's news to me. Other shows that don't. Okay, so I remember now. So the situation is not everyone talks about Scott, and the reason being is because if you do, he will come back at you like an obsessed killer, and he will refuse to take any hints. So, let's continue on here. Something else. So not everyone talks about Scott because they fear the repercussions and the retaliation that he will clearly take. But there are, there are other people, including myself, Nikki Nines, Joe. Well, not Joe, but YR and Ken, who are willing to talk about it, who really have seen through his lies. And, we realize now that although he remains a danger to himself and others, he is, obviously caught lying when he says he's not in a chat as a troll, or that he knows the law, or that he has a bag of guns. It becomes very clear to be able to see through his actions. But, so that's why many people choose not to speak about Scott, because once they do, they unleash hell from truly someone who is psychotic. And he still definitely remains a danger to himself and others. And, if he hits the sauce again, there's a good chance he'll really go off the deep edge. Or deep end. So that's something that, shout out to Real Talk there in the chat. Yeah, actually, you might want to know, I know that this really doesn't mean much to you, Nikki, but the bottom line is that your brother might have some sort of, I don't know, some discriminatory, bigoted views. Because, Real Talk here, he is an actual hip-hop artist. And he's also black. And, Scott basically says he's not black. Because he disagreed, he pulled a Biden and said, you ain't black because you disagree with me. Said the same thing about another black fellow. And he likes to turn around and, sort of make himself look like the next Martin Luther King Jr., and make it sound like everyone else is actually the evil person. And, there's no problem at all with him calling Heist Man an Uncle Tom. So there's quite a few things of a hypocritical nature that Scott is currently displaying, which also isn't the best. Let's see here. Just want to catch up with the chat because there's a fair bit. Tiff makes a good point. Nikki, I like to listen to the shows. As I'm preoccupied with things, I catch myself laughing from the show's antics. LOL. But the point is, I don't do this because of vengeance. If I didn't have to deal with Scott, I wouldn't. Simple as that. I enjoy talking politics, conspiracies, mysteries, computers. So, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't need to. However, Scott has gotten to the point where, well, he's going to have to be held accountable for his illegal actions. And he's been doing way too much about that. Actually, Tiff, that is appropriate because I'm not too sure if Nikki has heard this, but Nikki, your brother has actually said that you jacked him off at 12. Either you were 12 or he was 12, but he stated on a stream that you jacked him off. Whether or not that's true or not, it's just, that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. And, I'm not too sure what the purpose or point of him saying that was, but, here's another problem, another big issue with Scott, is that Scott has actually, and you're probably aware of this, but Scott's been actually messing with people from your hometown. People who apparently don't take it very well when Scott is lying about being associated with certain motorcycle clubs, certain people, certain groups, and that has actually upset so many people, from his hometown, that they're the ones who are creating all these fake accounts, these troll accounts that are actually using family members of your family, names of your family members. So, Nikki says, he called me on a love call once saying it. Ugh, okay. Well, I don't know. The bottom line is that it's inappropriate and on a live call. Oh, he called me on a live call once saying it. Yeah, he's been saying a lot of things over the years. Travis is revealing. Just trying to catch up with the chat. It's going real fast there. Yeah, so going back to the upsetting the people from the hometown, that includes that Troy Frazier guy, who apparently is a part-time comedian, also is in Fort McMurray. So Scott did that, and because they weren't going to take his shit, and they started trolling him with his family names, he now started to accuse everybody of basically using his family names. He accused me of that multiple times. I've never even bothered to look into his family. But other people have, obviously, because they've published photos that he put onto Facebook. They've used family names and so forth. So he basically brought that on himself from people who weren't even part of this community. So, I understand that you believe that this community might be toxic, but there's also the importance of looking at the community that he was fucking with, because they weren't fucking around. And yeah, I mean, hold on a second. Just give me a second. Oh, good point by a Sparrow. Asking whether or not Nikki knows if Scott ever said that he had cancer. Because he did actually say that on one stream. Now, if that's fake, if that's false information, that's not very genuine of him. Which, again, leads us to be quite concerned, because a liar of that nature is definitely somebody who's got some serious issues, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. If therapy is what they need, or medication, great. But if that won't work and jail is the only solution, well, then jail is the only solution. And, with everything that Scott's been through, maybe he should just leave us alone. Maybe he should just go away. There's nothing stopping him from, well, I guess now that he got struck, there is. But that's the problem with Scott, is that he'll make accounts and then he'll get them struck because of his own antics, his own actions. And, then he'll claim that, it's not him, and, it was somebody else that caused that, and everyone else is against them. So this, it's more of the usual. Ghost of Tommy's Barber says, what about Scott's military background? Well, I'm sure that she's aware that he's probably said that multiple times. He's tried to use his experience in the military, which didn't seem to go past basic training, as some sort of lever to push his story onto other people. But he also said that he went to war for this country. And, well, that is just a bald-faced lie. So how are we to trust this individual who claims that, he's doing something to better himself and then doesn't? Who will tell us he's going away and he's going to leave us alone, and then he literally just attacks us? Or he's actually... Well, this has happened multiple times, Nikki. He's actually, encouraged others to dox individuals in this community because he was so mad at them. Couldn't get one up on them. Couldn't get the hostage that he wanted. So, he does that. And, yeah, we're sick of it. We're sick of it. We don't want any more of this, but if he keeps pushing it, then it's going to have to go all the way to the end where he's in jail. It's as simple as that. Now, I've already contacted authorities, but Scott doesn't seem to want to understand the fact that, first of all, Fort McMurray is full of criminals, okay? Violent criminals, Somalis, and they got their hands full, but they're still very aware of Scott. And obviously they are, because the number of times that the police have been involved, the fact that his sister has sent them there, they're well aware of this guy, but obviously they're going to need some more to be able to put cuffs on him immediately. Does he want that warrant? Okay, we'll have to get him that warrant that he wants. I mean, they could just let the police continue to do their investigation, well, the police and the Crown, but and then determine, what actions they're going to take. He definitely is a public nuisance, but the good thing, and this is why I don't want Scott's channel struck or anything like that, because I want him to continue to make these mistakes, continue to make these commit these crimes, so it just becomes much and much easier for us to continue to submit this to the law enforcement and say he's not stopping, and that should show sufficient information to get an immediate action taken. Back to the chat here. Based Alcatraz, shout out to you. Says, I think there is toxic people in every community, but majority of us really came to look for fun and entertaining podcasts to listen. It's definitely when Scott started doxing Ken's parents' address. Yes, he identified where Ken's elderly parents were and got Ken so concerned that he had to contact the police, His family was warning him to get off the internet, and he had to sort of adjust the way that he was conducting himself because Scott was choosing the illegal route. Based Alcatraz continues, says, is when I knew he was a scumbag. Well, there was that time. There was the time he did that to JB. It's like, I want someone to give me JB's address. Well, they got them that address in that stream, and the next day JB was gone from the internet. Travis says, Nikki, until you are on a call, be aware a lot of people won't believe it's you. Just letting you know. Wire says, Nikki, your brother Scott was the first and only in this community to find out real names, addresses of us, and put it with malicious lists on live shows publicly. That is true. And it's funny, though. People are like, oh, Dave Rose, you're a doxer and stuff. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You don't know the definition of the law. But certainly you must acknowledge that my actions are a response to the actions of others, especially the threats of others, including Scott, who is threatening me, my life, and the life of the person that I'm taking care of. And we're all justified in defending ourselves, especially when it comes to family, without any sort of conditions. Back to the chat here. Ryan Murray is surprised. He says, wow, even Fort McMurray has Somalia. Get those votes for Trudeau. That's how it works. Wire says, yes, Skype is free and easy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, Scooter McFaddy, I don't care what you fucking think. Jadiz says, if DDR, Nikki, Tiff, Travis say it, I believe it's her. That's correct. Travis is providing with my Skype address, Devious Dave Rose. Awandi says, dude, he baked a cake for Monetize This 100. That was the first sign of trouble. Well, the sign of trouble was when he wasn't featured on that show and literally had a massive conniption. Then there was the time where, let's see here. I'm losing my train of thought. There was Ken's birthday where he just lost it, and he ended up getting arrested right in the middle of the street there, and the residents at that location were very concerned. He wouldn't let them go home, and they called the cops, and he eventually recorded that conversation that the cops had with these two victims and then released it publicly on the internet, which is a massive violation of the privacy laws here. And back to the chat. YR says, Christian children and families that go to church afraid for their lives because of Scott. C-Man says, I didn't know Scott threatened both of you. Jesus, man. Oh, yeah. Well, there's YR. Well, I could probably keep talking here. YR, me, Scott, Ken. Ken. Well, there was Joe. Nikki. Vikings fan, Danimal. Oh man, like Danimal as kids, he threatened to go to Danimal's house, and I do believe there was something that he mentioned about the kids, but because I don't remember exactly what it was, he said I'm not gonna try to remember. But I do remember there was something involved with the kids. There's Inspector Todd in the chat. You were getting quite shit on the other day in Bodark's chat there. You were really triggering the guy who says he can't be triggered. Yeah, YR is basically correct. Just about everyone in this community has been threatened by Scott. I mean, and not just men, women. What's her name? Bex. Little Bex from Australia. He threatened to call Child Protective Services on her. He also threatened to call her mother, who she's estranged with, to try to start shit and get the kids taken away from her. He also, threatened her boyfriend, lover, whatever Adam is, and, didn't like the fact that she was getting attention from her actual significant other as opposed to an internet troll. So just about everyone has actually received a legit viable death threat. Because you can tell that when he is so fired up with his feelings of rejection, the words that come out of his mouth are absolutely 100% true. He totally believes what he says, and he stands 100% behind it. Oh, look at that. We have the one, the only, JB Sports Radio in the chat right now. Happy Thanksgiving to you, brother. You get a wrench. Now that I know that that's the real JB, because that's a little inside joke between us, he gets a wrench. And this is Nikki. This is one of the individuals who chose to step away because Scott really, really got, really went too far when it came to identifying where JB lives, names of his family, all this sort of thing. It was beyond acceptable. And JB, who's been around for quite some time, and longer than Scott, by the way, had some, well, I'm not into the sports myself, but a lot of people said they liked the sports shows. I liked hearing him talk about politics, although I didn't always agree with him. But there was people there that wanted him around, that wanted his shows. And Scott took that from them. And Scott took that sense of security from JB because he just went too far, threatening this guy's life and his job. So, I mean, Scott has done some extremely vile things. And he can try to claim all he wants that I've been just as vile or worse. There is no comparison whatsoever. And on top of that, I don't want to be doing this, but, punch me enough times, I'm going to fucking punch you back. And so hard that I'm going to send you to the hospital. So, it's just, and that is figurative, not literal. But the point is, there's only so much that I'm willing to take. And if you actually, Nick, if you talk to people in this community, yeah, people say I'm arrogant, I'm a loudmouth, also say I'm intelligent. But the one thing they will say is that I am truthful. And, I'll be blunt about the truth. Let me just get back to the chat here. Well, see, the thing is, though, YR, don't worry. The sparrows are always flying over, watching over everything. Don't worry. Regardless, yeah. I mean, the fact is that there really is no comparison. Scott was the one that really ruined things for the majority of people in this community. And yeah, there was people that associated with him, including myself in the past. But, well, truth be told, there's only so much help that you can try to give people. And if every attempt to try to help someone really only leads to further negativity and you actually being attacked, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, Nikki. You try to help out your brother, but he refuses to accept the help and in fact gets, angry. With us, he gets violent. But there are legal avenues that you can take that will ensure that regardless of his desire to receive treatment, he'll get it. Shout out to Eric James in the chat. But let's see here. What else? Well, I don't like to repeat myself. Sometimes it's necessary, unfortunately, but the majority, almost the entirety, because he's still producing more and more stuff, of what's been revealed, can be viewed on the marathon, evidence marathon. That's 4 years of all that evidence compiled in chronological order. So you can hear and see everything that he's been up to and watch the progression of his descent into madness. And to explain it to you, Nikki, you might ask, well, why continue to make these videos? Because if I don't, Scott won't stop. And then he'll start to think that he's in the clear and that he can just go back to business as usual, making threats. There won't be any repercussions. Well, those days are over. Those days are absolutely over, and Scott can pretend that he is aware of everything, but he's not. And he reveals himself every time he talks, which is why I don't want his channel struck. I want him to continue to say these illegal things. It's just going to make it a lot easier for him to essentially be taken care of, whether it be through jail or through therapy. But he's gotten to the point where those are the only two options. Or what you said is, by overdose. Now, he's supposedly off the alcohol and he's on those pills, but how long will that last? Will Tactics in the chat is correct. It is an endless cycle. And until it is broken, either by his choice or otherwise, nothing's going to change. But he will get worse. His conduct will get worse. So it's going to have to be stopped whether he likes it or not. Also, I guess that either Scott's asleep or away, because right now we have 15 thumbs up and 0 thumbs down. That's surprising, at least until he wakes up. So, I thought it was very important to start off the show by explaining what I've been sitting on. And yes, many people here weren't aware of this, but it's legit, and it's true, and it is confirmed. But what's going to happen next? Well, we're going to have to see. Like I said, looks like I might need to actually put together that video showing all the different civil servants that you can contact in Fort McMurray to raise the issue of an individual who is clearly psychotic being allowed to remain a danger to himself and others. And, well, when sufficient number of people call, that will put enough pressure on them to acknowledge that they will need to take action. And that's domestic and international. You could do both. Will Tactics says, can we get a stream of DDR playing DDR? I don't know of any arcades around here, to be honest. I haven't seen a DDR game in a long time. But I'd probably suck at it, so it'd probably be hilarious to watch. Oh, there go the thumbs down. Well, at least I reminded them, I mean, like, oh shit, I forgot to give a thumbs down. My cardio could use some work, fucking Will Tactics. The smoking doesn't fucking help. But it does help from, from preventing getting COVID, apparently. So I got that going for me. But yeah, now that the weather's fucking finally good again up here, I'll finally be able to go out and do a lot more exercise in the sun. Because I really don't like doing inside. Right now I'm just, hitting some weights and stuff, but I really want to be able to get out. Anywho, let's see here. I want to also address some of the stuff that Bullfrog has been saying. Because we know, obviously, that that Bullfrog called into the show yesterday. Well, it was into Bodark's show. Initially, they played a clip of him, and then Bullfrog called in. So, let's see. I believe I saved that somewhere here. Where did I put them? Just bear with you here while I find it. Oh, there it is. Excellent. Okay, I think this is where it is. But let's see. Some of this was played yesterday.
Have a nice life, you fucking cocksuckers.
We'll still review it.
Yeah, listen, dude, we all go through shitty times, and we're all having, obviously, I mean, when we all act this way, and I've acted this way, I'm being
straight on. Like, look, you're on here for one. You're on here for one reason only. I'm here to tell you that your wrench has been removed.
I already know my wrench has been removed, Bodark.
Yeah, so as a result,
I already made light.
You will no longer have the power. Hold on. You will no longer have the power. Wrench.
No, that power belongs to you. It's your channel, bro. I never asked for the wrench.
My God, my good God, leave Scott alone. What is Scott doing to you?
But
Oh
you
my
did do
God.
good on experimenting and strategy-wise. You did do good.
Everyone fell for the fucking trap, dude. Everyone fell for the fucking trap.
Yeah, we laughed at this yesterday. I want to get to the Bullfrog call.
Fucking family, and
everybody that needs.
Oh, and by the way, I find it kind of classy how Mr. YR tries to act all apologetic, and after that he gets all triggered. He's like, "Oh, fuck you, fat ass! Fuck you, fat ass! Bitch, you're lucky that you ain't saying that shit to my face, you fucking." Faggot.
Well, I just find it funny that I saw in the chat today.
Your hands would shake. Mom spaghetti. Mom spaghetti.
About people saying Scott's going to accuse us now of just channel.
No shit, that's not blown in. That's actually Bodark. Bodark basically went on to YR show yesterday, and he was castigated for associating with Scott. And in fact, he gave Scott a wrench willingly, knowing that we had told him of what he had done. So yesterday he calls into YR's show, and he tries to, sort of set it up that he's, always been attacked, the victim, blah, 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 blah. That encourages me to call in. I was busy, but eventually I did. And, he was very, riled up on YR's show. And I was saying things in the comments addressing what he was saying. So, and not agreeing with what, the points he was making. As such, he encouraged me to call in. And when I did, his tone became quite docile and somewhat apologetic. But as soon as he got off the call with YR and me, he went to his channel, did a video, and, deleted. Well, he did a video with Scott, let him call in, then they're talking here, as we were hearing. And then as I decided to go review it, he deletes his entire channel.
Getting taken down for playing Alex Jones. How did they all know they got taken down for Alex Jones? It doesn't state that, because Sonic Boom Channel is gone. I can't even appeal it. Oh. And Hypersonic is under strikes right now. Can't do anything for a week, and it doesn't say anything about Alex Jones, but they all talked about it today. What else happened?
Yeah, I made the point that it's basically it's critical thinking, logic, and problem solving to determine that utilizing content from someone who is banned entirely from YouTube due to their political views will probably get you banned as well.
Bodark?
You know what's funny? Here's the reality of things. I'm going to be honest with you, too. This is the truth about how the criminal justice system works. If you were a criminal, do you really think you'd be sitting here talking with me right now? No.
Yeah, we already heard this, and we laughed at it earlier today and yesterday.
The cops were here twice the other night when they...
Yeah, when they did the safety check on you, because your sister, implored them to go visit her psychotic brother.
Posted my shaving cream video. Who would have thought to shave...
In that video where you claimed to actually be a demon, now you're a man of God?
Shaving cream would have put it over the top, right? They posted my shaving cream video. Okay,
They. Never consistent. Never a name. They. They is probably the people from his hometown. The people he messed with, the people he angered, and they took it, the way they wanted to take it.
Hometown. Parents get a hold of it. Cops get a hold of it. Cops are here twice at night and in the morning doing wellness checks. I showed them the video. They laughed at it, and I said, this is what these people do. You all...
They probably laughed at you, Scott.
All know well, all too well. I mean, back with that mouth, you would.
Did you show them the evidence tribunal? Or the evidence marathon? Did you show them where you do all the threats? Did you show them that?
And shit in Glace Bay. And I've talked to many police about that, what they were doing to him. So, obviously, there needs to be a full investigation of who's actually doing what.
Yeah, well, then what you want to do is you want to contact law enforcement and begin that process. Simple as that. What you don't want to do is just start to accuse everyone and literally change that opinion daily. Oh, it's Dave Rose is putting people's names in my family's names in the chat. Oh, it's Lockjaw. Oh, it's Tiff. Oh, it's fucking, so-and-so.
Here's what I'm going to say right now. I'm not sure how the Canadian Justice Bureau works, but I'm pretty...
Justice Bureau? Well, you are automatically just proved yourself to be an idiot.
I'm pretty sure that if you have a warrant for your arrest, they'd be banging on your fucking door right as
well, when the cops come here twice in one night, if I had a warrant, I would have been arrested right there on the...
I analyzed this yesterday. We need to go into it, but it's just funny to listen to these idiots. I can't remember who had said it in the chat, so please put up your hand when I identify you, or when you when you hear this, but my God, what the fuck's wrong with my brain?
Warrant, I would have been arrested right there on the
Oh, well, hold on.
spot.
Common
And you
fucking
can't say that
sense.
COVID is
Common
slowing
fucking
everything
sense.
down and slowing the
I don't remember what the fuck I would say. I'll remember.
process down because the COVID doesn't stop the law. It doesn't.
Sorry, guys. You know, I promised you this. This is what we're doing. But I got to tell you, part of my mind is on tonight. 9 p.m. Friday Night Fire, Foul Mouse Network. Tonight, a new age dawns. Tonight, we make Friday great again.
Stop cops from coming to your house. So I asked the cops all about that.
So,
They have
here's the
no.
question.
All about that. See, you do actually hear Canadians say a boot. Normally, though, most of them come from the East Coast. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's if people want to know why people in Alberta or fucking British Columbia or Ontario don't say a boot, it's because it's usually an Easterner.
No intel whatsoever about what I'm talking about.
Here's my question.
Nikki made a good point, is they're not going to admit if there's an ongoing investigation on you. You clearly don't know the law.
For Mr. Buford T. Justice. Buford T. Justice, I'm going to silence you. That's real fucking original coming from a stupid-ass little troll name. Like, real fucking original, brother. Thank you for the viewership, man. I really appreciate it, brother.
I guess this was the wrong clip. Let's try this one.
I gave it to you because I thought, hey, you know...
Trying to get to the point where fucking Bullfrog calls in.
Why not trust this motherfucker? But, you know, as a result, I removed your... I came on my stream and said, you know what, motherfuckers? I'm done. He's removing his wrench and whatever. But then if these people came in and they're like, oh, you're a cloud chaser, this and that. I said,
Yeah,
you know
so
what,
you proved your own point, dude.
So I said, you know
It's
what?
fine.
I said, you know what, motherfuckers? Here's what I have to say right now. The chat is going to be disabled. The likes and dislikes are going to be disabled. So you're not... This goes for you too, YR, you fake fuck. No, I don't need fucking stuff like that. Because people really want to see this side of me. So you know what? I'll fucking go at it.
I mean, come on. He's the best rapper going right now. He's got a new.
But all I said is, if you're making content on me, buddy, good for you. I wish you nothing. Jab at you. This isn't me insulting you, but I'm not gonna bend a knee or anything like that to anybody. I'm not gonna bend the rules to anybody. So
Well, you heard. Listen.
What do you call deleting your entire channel?
I'll respond. To
hold
these
on,
guys
ladies and gentlemen.
does.
We have a voice
Lee.
clip from the one and only Bullfrog.
I was just gonna ask about him.
Wire
I did
stream
dial
earlier.
Bullfrog, thank you. I don't know if
That
you're
whole
playing
thing, they were just wolf packing you. It was a work, and YR is he's
Are you
just
on
all
two devices
butthurt
where you can
because
play where I can hear
you got to Scott first, and
Alright, then.
basically you stole YR's idea. That's why he's all sissy butthurt right now, and YR tried to strong arm you. And that's why he's like, Dave Rose, get Dave Rose on the call. And Dave Rose is his bodyguard now all of a sudden. Or Dave Rose has always been his bodyguard. Like, Wire
fuck
is
is going on
basically
right
butthurt. You took, or you stole Wire's idea because he wanted Scott back on his channel. And he wanted Scott to be open-minded on his channel. He wanted Scott back for Dave Rose to do more content for Dave Rose. So that's why, but yeah, YR is all sissy butthurt because you stole his idea.
I hope these people have a spiritual awakening one
But
day and
hey,
find
yo,
Jesus,
Bodark,
dude. That's
but
all I
yeah,
can say. I really
YR,
do.
don't
I don't
let
want you
that
guys to be
fucking
misheard anymore.
ashtray
I
let
don't want you to
fucking
be
get to you.
hurt
That guy's
when
a
you get to
fucking
attack
joke.
people, because I know that feeling.
That's why I
that
let
feeling
this
sucks.
retarded ass
You feel like
community.
you're right and have to defend yourself, and you got
The
this
guy's
pride.
a fucking Joe
Bro,
Cronin
that's not good,
wannabe.
man. That's Luciferian
he's a-
energy. It ain't coming nowhere from God.
Real quick. I'm playing these messages from Bullfrog, aka Toxic, and he's literally.
Am I talking over them?
You kind of are. I'm not sure if you can hear him.
Oh, dude, I can't hear it.
That's weird. Listen to the stream.
YR's just a fucking clown. And he creates all these fake fights, all these fake narratives, all this. Bro, I know YR like the back of my hand. I used to date YR. I know everything about him.
I addressed this yesterday, but I'm going to say one thing. Bullfrog, you're done. You're fucking done. Now, let's see. Back to the chat here. Real talk. LOL, a frog and a rat. Let's see here. The Goon says, DDR, one of the key factors in opening the community forbidden door. Thank you. No, you didn't miss too much real talk, but we did get a visit from Scott's sister, and you will see screenshots of her interaction with the community, essentially explaining how she's tried to help Scott out, and he's refused the assistance, and she's having difficulty actually finding services that will be able to assist him. But she was the one that got those 2 wellness checks done on him. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, and Tiff makes a good point. Nikki, you're invited to watch tonight's stream. It's very fun and entertaining, and guaranteed there won't be any discussion on Scott there. You know, A, it's going to be a fun stream. B, Ken won't want to have to talk about Scott, and you're not going to hear anything to discuss in regards to Scott. It's actually going to be a fun time. So, yeah, you'll see a big contrast between even this and what's going to go on tonight. And, you know, an even bigger contrast between what goes on tonight and what Scott's been doing. Scott is total toxicity. What we're going to show tonight is that we are not. That he's the one that brought that into the community. But yes, before we continue with the clip, let's go to this screenshot here. So, by the way, I think it is important for everyone to know this. Because, first of all, Bullfrog says that he's leaving, but then he's not. And on top of that, he creates a new Skype account, or not a Twitter account. And there it is, people, right in the chat. So why don't you go, I guess, up to him and ask him why he's choosing to stay in this community when he clearly said that he was leaving. But let's continue because there's more to review.
Ooh, something spicy about the Dwyer and Bullfrog relationship I just found out about. Interesting.
Then you're a fucking moron, because if you didn't realize that that was a gag, if you didn't realize that YR and Scott started that in the first place and that it had always been a gag, you truly are a fucking moron, Bodark. Your name sucks as well. I'm certainly not calling you daddy. Father figure. Get the fuck out of here.
Let's hear some more.
Yes, Beer Taster, he was on Joe's show yesterday. If someone wants to get me the timestamp for that and maybe the link, I will review that, because there was some other things that he had said there that I'd like to address.
Yeah, don't worry, bro. It's all good. Water on.
Here we go. Now he calls in.
I'm the biggest bitch on YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of other bitches on this platform.
Yes, but you're the biggest. You're the biggest.
There you are. Finally, you come in.
Yeah, hang on. I had to put on my headset.
What's up, Bullfrog?
Hang on.
Oh, so. Wow. Boy. Hold on. I got to play this clip.
Hang on. Give me a second. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Play the dragon, though.
You didn't get surgery, I heard.
Not yet. It's they're gonna let me know June the 2nd.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
From what I've been hearing, is that the surgery was actually made up because you're fearful of Dave arresting you and.
No, I really.
I mean, it's okay. Listen, dude, I'm gonna tell you from experience. It's okay. I ain't judging you because I've done that. I got to the point where I was so fucking afraid and scared of Dave and all this shit.
No, Scott, you weren't afraid of me. You were afraid of what you did. You were afraid of the fact.
Now that I know, I'll find a new.
Shut up, Jake. You were afraid of the acts that you had committed, the crimes that you had committed, and when that was just pointed out to you, just with basic knowledge of the law, something that is beyond Scott's grasp, he got scared because he realized, oh shit, first of all, Dave is as smart as he claims. And yeah, Dave is smarter than me. Now he's talking about stuff that I have no clue about. But I can't let on that I'm ignorant, that I'm an idiot. So I've got to lie even more so. Just keep burying myself deeper and deeper. Scott will try to make this claim here, but we have the evidence where he's like, I'm not scared of you, Dave. I'm not going to bend the knee. But so which one is it now? Skunt. And yes, Nikki, we're calling your brother Skunty. I started that fucking trend. And yes, Skunty, which one is it? Which one is it? Either you're scared, which means you would actually have taken action. But in contradiction to that, you have said that you're absolutely not scared, that you'll never be scared of me, that you see me as JP from Grandma's Boy, and that you would never bend to the knee. So, yet again, this is the individual, a known liar, yet again trying to flip the script, bro. Flip the script. So which one is it? See, this is why this ambiguity with Scott leads us to clearly determine that he is a danger to himself and others. Because he could tell somebody one thing, but he'll tell somebody something different. So, let's see here. Okay, what was I going to address here? Okay, so, yes. And very important, people. Very important that I wanted to address. This Bullfrog account that I put into the chat there, he made it April 24th, 2020. Okay? Okay, so April 24th, 2020, that's over 1 year ago. More than 365 days. Now, we already know that Bullfrog had the Mighty Bullfrog, one, I believe, and then Bullfrog Show, which was another account. Both of those are gone. One of them, I think the first one got struck. This is suspended. And then the other one was like, this no longer exists, which means he probably still has it, just made it private or deleted, whatever. But we have another account that he's had clearly for over a year now. A, this could be indicative of him planning to do something like this. B, this could just further highlight that he's a liar, that he's a cheat, and that he has multiple counts all over the place. Possibly because he knows that he's going to get blocked and banned and stuff, and he wants to be able to hang around. And, Jay Diz says it perfectly because, yeah, it's the embodiment of this. LOL, ha ha ha, community ho doing community ho things per usual. Read my mind. Shit says he seems the type of guy to be too nerdy in a friend, or too needy in a friendship. Absolutely. Real Talk confirms what everyone knows. Pussy. Let's continue now with this clip here.
From the intimidation and the fucking going to the police department and videotaping himself, and then...
Okay, so now he's saying that he's scared. Let's go rewind a bit. So here's the thing, though. Remember, Scott is the type of person who was dared by Ken to contact his employment. Scott, having no self-control whatsoever. Thanks, Beer Taster. I got it from somebody else. Scott having no control over himself. Basically will go ahead and pick up the rein and say, oh, you dared me? Well, I'm doing it. I'm doing it hardcore. I'll call the police, blah, blah, blah. Do it on air, blah, blah, blah. So he's the type of person that will, take up a challenge at any point. But if he does that, like he'll do that to other people. I dare you to do this. I dare you to. And when they do it, he freaks out. So basically, and you got to go back to the tribunal, the evidence marathon, closer to the beginning, to find this, where he's basically daring me. First of all, he's threatening my life. He says he knows where I am, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, fine. You're clearly not going to stop. You won't leave me alone. I've blocked you, and you're spamming my chats. You're calling into shows that I'm in just to shit on me, and you won't leave me alone. You are actually criminally harassing me. So it's like, I dare you to go to the police. I'm like, I'm going to go to the police. He's like, okay, well, I dare you to record. It's like, well, okay, I might as well. I'll do it at the same time. And I did. Oh, and this is where Scott gets scared. Not because of me, or is it because of me? We still haven't determined that. But it's so clear. It's so clear. he sees and realizes that his actions are illegal. He knows he fucked up, but he can't admit it, obviously. Admitting it would actually be worse for him then. Because of that, people would know, oh my God, this guy is, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's clearly committing these crimes. So he's got to try to cover it up that, I was so scared, But remember, I'm in Ontario. I've never shied away from that. He thinks he's more concerned about me, apparently, but then has, gone on about, Nikki Nines in Alberta with the Mormon Mafia, I'm so scared. But, well, you'd think if that was a bigger threat, that would be the issue that he's talking about and not, and obviously something that he'd bring up, that he'd contact the police for and actually take action on. Because if he's got all this information, because he's said this for years, I got all this information, never revealed it. You better not do this or else. Well, we just did that. And what do? You move the goalpost because you're a pussy, Scott.
The intimidation and the fucking going to the police department and videotaping himself. And then, it's okay. Listen, dude, I'm going to tell you from experience. It's okay. I ain't judging you because I've done that. I got to a point where I was so fucking afraid and scared of Dave and all this shit from the intimidation and the fucking going to the police department and videotaping himself. And then,
See, you're a piece of shit, scunt. You're a bald-faced liar. And that is libel right there. Oh, sorry, it's slander. You haven't... Well, you've written it down in chats, but... and comments and stuff. But you're basically saying that I'm intimidating you, but you're the one who's constantly and criminally harassing people. You're a bald-faced fucking liar and a fucking scumbag piece of shit.
Talking to these ex-biker accounts and all this shit, I thought the same thing you did. Either he's going to have me killed or arrested or...
I was never talking to any of these ex-biker accounts. I don't even know which ones they are.
Something, dude. So that's what I've heard that...
No, scunt, you're the only person who's going to get yourself killed, either by talking shit to somebody there in Fort McMurray, saying something that has the police sent to your place and you act in a crazy way and they don't hesitate to shoot you, or you're going to fucking overdose.
You were going through the same thing, so you kind of...
Bodark is like a fucking grain of sand. Most people didn't even know he was around or what he did. Most people, I've seen him around and stuff, but knowing that he does videos, that he does... No, not even close. So it's just so fucking funny that he's trying to push this shit. And obviously, he's working his usual dark magic on the peanut-sized brain that Bodark has to try to convince him of this. It's the same fucking tactic he's used countless times.
I did being in the hospital. Now, I did that at that time. I did do that, and I did it for sympathy and stuff like that.
That's pathetic, dude. I've never met a bigger pussy in my life than you. You lied about being in the hospital to get sympathy. But if I was in such the wrong, right, and it was really just me going at you, if I was in such a wrong, how is it possible that just one mere man that you're not apparently afraid of, or you've said so in the past, was able to bring down a supposed giant?
Because I didn't know what else to do.
I didn't know what else to do. So you got confronted with the truth that you were committing crimes, and the typical pussy goes to his typical pussy toolbox and says, all my tools are for pussies. Liars and scumbags. Well, might as well take it and use the same tool I always use. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. I got to listen to it again because it's just, I know these people exist in this world, but it always boggles my mind, just like stupidity. And I should have already fucking smartened up by this point, but it's fascinating. To me, it's fascinating to observe individuals that look human, that call themselves human, but clearly aren't human, okay? Maybe subhuman, but the way that they operate, the way they function, normal humans don't operate that way. So it's both horrific and yet fascinating to see these individuals and try to determine how they function,
Talking to these ex-biker accounts and all this shit, I thought the same thing you did. Either he's going to have me killed or arrested or something.
So Bodark thinks I'm going to have him killed or arrested? For what? For what? Because he's having his little hissy fit there on his stream?
Then, dude, so that's what I've heard, that you are going through the same thing.
You heard that? Dude, he literally just got off the call with me. Well, with me and YR. He literally just got off the call with me and YR. So, in the span of, 2 minutes, you heard it?
You kind of, like I did, being in the hospital. Now, I did that at that time. I did do that, and I did it for sympathy and stuff like that because I didn't know what else to do. I did that. I admit that. And I admit that's fucked up to do, and I was wrong to do that. And then my own karma hit me, and I ended up in the hospital, and a lot of bad shit happened.
Nikki made a good point. This wasn't the karma. This was you just, really killing your liver with that.
To me, physically, mentally, health-wise. It was my own karma for lying about something like that, but I didn't know how to deal with that situation at the time. And I admit to that fully, man. I'm a sinner, and I repent for the shit that I've done. And I believe in Jesus. And one thing, Bullfrog, that I've always played back is that clip of you and Dave talking where he asks you to bend a knee, and you tell him that you don't bend a knee to anybody but Jesus, and that is real. And he goes, I see.
No, I don't do those fake noises there, Skunt, okay? You're the one who clearly claimed himself to be a reptilian. You're always doing a... So no, Skunty, no.
And he calls everybody else snakes.
I call people many different things.
Anybody that says that in the name of Jesus is...
I didn't say that in the name of Jesus, you fuck. By the way, what was his Aramaic name?
That devil is that Lucifer demonic energy.
Yeah.
I don't represent that energy.
You most definitely do, Skunt. You are embodiment of evil.
Can I just chime in real quick and tell everyone to just shut up?
He's too smart to be even doing what he's doing. Why is he doing what he's doing? Because he's smarter than this.
Don't point out the crimes that I'm committing. You're too smart for that.
And I think that he's better than this. And I don't want to believe that he's truly evil, but he's representing evil.
All right, listen. I'm going to shut everyone the
Nick made a good point. I do walk with the righteous.
fuck up for 1 minute. So, Inspector Todd, you're reporting my channel. That's a false report.
Pussy. Fuck off.
Have I won?
I can't find the clip. Hold on. Maybe it's this one.
Knock on my door. I'll say.
Call me fake. The equivalent of swatting somebody. Invest in you find God, dude. I do. Then clout truthers.
Taking care of business you want. It's been boiling up. Apparently, supposedly, from
with me and you, they're all looking.
The entire community.
Hey, never he was back there.
I moved your wrench.
What
but
the fuck?
Have a nice life. You fucking cocksuckers.
Power belongs to you. It's your channel, bro. I never asked for
With everyone.
over my brother. Shit. Gonna accuse of. Who would have thought? You can't say that.
Justice, I'm gonna
That's really weird. I thought I had it. Okay. Well, I guess I don't. But we do have some stuff to review from Bullfrog, because that's what I wanted to get to. Because he did call in. Bullfrog did call in to Bodark's stream. They initially played a clip of him, and then he called in. Nikki reviewed this. I don't know why I can't find it, because it's the same fucking clip, I believe. But no, we're not playing that clip or the music, nothing like that. No beer taster, so don't worry. I know. Let's see here. What else? Oh, yeah. Here's the clip. And, okay, so let's get it timed up on the 34. Because, you know, there's a method to my madness here. There's stuff that I am going to be addressing about Bullfrog, but I need the proper setting first. I'm not just going to put this baked Bullfrog just on the table. It definitely needs a silver platter for it.
Like in a WWE or whatever, like it's always like Mark Henry's the first one to comment. Like nobody gives a shit.
I believe this is Isaac Rojas.
Mark.
But I think everybody looks to him.
Yeah, I mean they do that
too,
that to Booker T too.
I don't give a. I look to him to get fucking like diabetes already. Just shut the fuck up. Like that time he got into a fight with a fan or whatever because a fan. You're gonna save any fucking because you're so. So anyway, guys, you know
the man that said he would not ever be back on the show ever. He was going away and never would come back. And we said we'll see you in a couple weeks. And well, here he is, Bullfrog. You're a fucking scumbag liar. How about that?
That he is.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
what do you mean you don't think so? You're a fucking
I
liar.
have a challenge for you.
Okay, I told you people that we're going to be breaking this down, and we're going to be breaking this down the only way that Dave Rose can slice a roast. So, let's just get back here. I just want to prepare for this. Visuals aren't always necessary, but in this case, they are.
That.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hold on.
Couple weeks. And people listen.
There we go.
So anyway, guys, I'm having a really good day.
Well, listen, we got to move over to Bullfrog for a minute. The man that said he would not ever be back on the show ever. He was going away and never would come back. And we said, we'll see you in a couple weeks. And, well, here he is. Bullfrog, you're a fucking scumbag liar. How about that?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Listen to the way that he fucking says it. No, I don't think so. So the princess has come back, huh? The princess who thinks she can bitch all the time. Oh, people are attacking me. But you just went on the other show and attacked them back. Oh, I'm going away. I'm going away. I'm going away. You're a liar and a scumbag. Joe is correct.
What do you mean?
What do you mean you don't think so? You're a fucking liar.
I have a challenge for you, Joe.
Oh, go.
I have a challenge for you, Joe. Sounding like fucking Kamala Harris there. Dude, he just asked you a fucking question. The host of the show just asked you a fucking question. And you're just going to ignore him and just issue a challenge? First of all, where the fuck do you, of all subhumans, get off in thinking that you can dictate in that way?
Doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't change the fact that you said you weren't coming back to any show, and then you come back.
No, I wanna challenge. Now his co-host is addressing you, and you ignore him as well. Well, you're not really ignoring him as you are dismissing him, which is worse. Although you do ignore people, they're actually talking and you just choose not to hear. But now Jake says this and you just admit, no, just dismiss it. No, you're scum, you're nothing. I'm here to talk to Joe. I'm just started the show.
I challenge you, Joe, for your monetize this.
For your monetize this championship, the one that you have been photographed, basically saying that you're not. To quote him, the screenshot we previously showed, I decide. It's spelled Deceeied. I decide I'm not going for the MT belt. I'm staying away from this toxic community. Says the guy who's had this account for over a year. And who changes his name on Skype to Toxic. What, to embrace that toxicity? Or so what is this, a work? Or are you fat and retarded? Let's continue.
Championship belt.
How are you going to be on the show if you're banned from Monetize This?
A question that's been brought up constantly with Bullfrog. A valid one.
If I win the belt, I gotta come on to defend it.
Okay, fine. But you're not even supposed to be
See, Joe at this point is like, just get on with it, fat ass. I just want you off.
here. You said you would never come back here, or your niece would die.
That's what they said about the Undertaker, but he keeps.
That's what they said about the Undertaker. No, that's not they, dummy. That's fucking retard. They said it. No, it came out of your mouth, asshole. You said you were leaving. You did.
Keeps coming.
You're
back.
not the Undertaker. You're a tard.
Yeah, I am. I'm the
I know.
Grand Reaper, but I'm the great.
See, he wasn't even listening. Yeah, I am. I'm the Undertaker, the Grand Reaper. Joe literally just called you a tard. And you're like, yeah, I am. I'm the Undertaker. I'm
Grim Reaper Frog.
I know him. Oh my god, dude, you are.
Sorry, Danny, we're not taking calls right now.
Honestly, all the bad stuff that's coming to you from whatever happens, I think you might deserve it, Bullfrog. I'm gonna be honest.
A proper warning from Joe. Let's rewind it so we don't miss what was being said.
Yeah, I am.
I know.
Grim Reaper. I'm the Grim Reaper Frog.
I know him. Oh my god, dude, you are. I honestly, all the bad stuff that's coming to you from whatever happens, I think you might deserve it, Bullfrog. I'm gonna be honest.
What bad stuff?
I don't know. You talk about all this bad stuff's happening to you and people are after you. I think you're gonna get really bad.
Surgeries.
Now we get into some serious retardation. By the way, people, that link right there will lead you to Bullfrog's current channel. How do you know it is? Well, you've got the channel logo, which is the same as the logo he's currently using, or the background he's currently using on his Twitter banner. And that is the one that you can see is being currently active. And this is just one of the quick ways of determining which account Bullfrog is running, because he's usually very, very sloppy when it comes to his digital footprint. Let's see what else. A lot of stuff going on here in the background. Constantly having sparrows fly in and out of my window. Let's continue.
No, I slayed the dragon.
Okay, so now he's trying to allude that he's slayed me. Now, I mean, like, is that what an ostrich thinks when it puts his head in the ground and ignores the lion that's going to attack it? I slayed the dragon. You didn't do shit, douchebag. You've actually made things worse.
You slayed the dragon.
Slayed the dragon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I cut the dragon's head off.
Really?
Not the snake, the dragon.
All right.
Listen,
Yeah,
we don't need to hear about your weird sex acts with your.
No, Joe knows. No, Joe knows.
Talking about
what
hiding the
dragon.
snake.
No,
Joe knows which dragon.
Joe knows what dragon that I'm talking about.
So he's trying to allude to me. He's like, "Oh, I'm not scared of Dave. You know, I quit the community and I called in the other day because Dave Rose, he made me quit. He was talking bad on me in the show, but I'm gonna quit this toxic community. But I slayed the dragon. Which one is it, fatty?
I don't understand.
You get it.
I don't think Joe has any idea.
I cut off the dragon's head in Canada.
You cut off the Canadian's head in Canada. You cut off the.
You talking about shit about Shell again? Jesus. God.
Oh my God.
No,
he's talking. You know what he's talking about. Listen. Let me tell you something, a Bullfrog.
Surprised at this point Joe didn't mute the show and say you're talking about Dave, but whatever.
I don't think you're prepared for what hell is going to rain down upon you potentially.
Wiser words have never been spoken by Joe Cronin.
No, I slayed the dragon.
No, I'm gonna keep repeating the same thing over and over again, because I'm a star. Everyone wants me on the show.
Oh my God! I mean,
Bullfrog, can you do style?
And it's such an insult when you speak to when you show someone at least that minimal amount of respect. You know that you treat others like you want to be treated. So you listen. You pay attention. You give them your undivided attention. That's how a conversation is supposed to be. You don't constantly ignore what people are actually saying. If not, it's not a conversation. It's a one-way discussion. It's actually more of just an oration, really, a statement. There's no fucking discussion whatsoever. It's an insult. And for those of us who actually show respect to others and we receive this sort of treatment where we're not being listened to, we're being actively ignored, or we're being dismissed entirely from our opinions. And the key here is by someone who is below us, okay? Someone has, like, say I fucked up a plumbing job, and a master plumber says, Dave, you're a piece of shit. Look at this, look at this, look at this. You're retarded. That would be acceptable. But for someone like Bullfrog to have the gall to say what he does, well, he deserves the repercussions that will come. Because, yet again, this is one of those criminal individuals who's been protected throughout their entire life, so they've never had to deal with the repercussions of their actions. Yes, Bullfrog, if you sexually harass people on the internet, there are repercussions for it.
Already, like, nobody gives a fuck about you. Please. Like,
I can't believe
dragon. Like you're cutting your little fucking.
Well, nobody gives a fuck about you. Why don't you just fucking
I don't
die?
think.
I don't give a fuck about you. Now, this is the entitlement and self importance that Bullfrog has now. Is Bullfrog, you just got into a Discord group with Jake Joe and Luke Rojas. You had to be added to that group. Luke was on that call before you were. That alone should end that conversation. I shouldn't have to tell you 1 + 1 is 2. You should already know it. If you don't, this is no place for you, little man.
I don't think anybody gives a fuck about me. I don't give a shit if anybody. I know everybody got mad at. I know everybody just got mad at me in the chat about Mark Henry.
Yeah,
all of you
coming
guys
from
in
a
the
guy
chat are
that
fucking faggots too. Go fuck yourself.
Ain't you the one who's threatened JB's family?
You gonna bring up shit from 3 years ago or whatever, or like last year?
Yeah, if you're gonna tell me to kill myself.
You stupid cunt.
Oh, if you tell me to kill myself.
Oh, he's kidding.
How about you
but
stop interrupting me?
It was a year ago.
Faggot.
How about you fuck off and die?
How about you figure out a different way to insult him, Bullfrog?
Bring up shit. By the way, hey, want to know what I said to JB? I never said I was going to kill his family. You want to know what I said?
He said he would kill them.
JB is a fucking alcoholic, and he named his sons and his daughters after fucking weapons. And then I said that or whatever. And then I said something.
I guess Scott is up now. Look at all those thumbs down.
But I think I said that he was gonna.
Yeah, you said he would execute his
family. Which, by the way, you fucking idiot. If you ever watched any of Joe's shows, you'd know that he said similar things. That you've said way worse things about, like, molesting people.
That is true. Which is another reason why he's so concerned. Because if he didn't do anything wrong, then why is he so concerned about any potential law enforcement?
Faces or whatever, and getting into people's
Well, you also
DMs.
said you were going to shoot me, Bullfrog.
Why don't you just shut your stupid fucking mouth?
We have that clip.
Bullfrog, you said you'd
shoot you, Joe Cronin.
Dude, I saw your fucking picture. You know what you look like? You look like fucking Ernie from fucking George Lopez show.
Ooh. Okay.
You look like fucking Ernie from the George Lopez show.
Did anybody ever actually watch the George Lopez show?
You talking about Ernie?
You do?
Yeah, you look like fucking Ernie from the George Lopez show.
For Bullfrog to even insult someone on their appearance is worthy of action.
Ernie's a classic character. I just don't understand it. I mean, that's a compliment.
No, he became a fat fuck at the end.
Well, in the real life,
you're a fat fuck right now.
Yeah, the lack of self-awareness is unacceptable.
Some fat fucking loser who's about to
Luke's
die.
not a fat fuck.
I'm gonna start calling you Ernie.
Okay, dude. How are you gonna call me like? Who gives a shit? You're a mongoloid, so like I don't care.
Well, hey, I rather look like a mongoloid than look like fucking fat Ernie.
And you're gonna die alone, so like that's something that everybody's hoping. Like I don't care.
Jeremiah, who are you calling fat?
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's really stupid.
And you're a midget too. I mean, let's be honest. You know.
Yeah, Bullfrog, if I ever saw you, I'd kick the shit out of you. Like, you're just a big fat slob.
Yeah,
you're not like a fighter. Dude, here's how I would do it. I would put you in a side headlock, and I would fucking mash your fucking brains with my fist into fucking mashed potatoes. And then I'd rip open your fucking skull and eat your brains like a fucking
Vince needs to get this at SummerSlam.
That's what I would do.
How old is Bullfrog? You and what army? Do I need an army, Bullfrog? Because you sure seem to shake when, Dave Rose makes his way into certain areas.
You stupid son of a bitch. You got nothing. And you know what? You're probably slow as shit. You're slow as shit. I'm deceptively fast. I'm deceptively fast. You think I can't move, but I'd fucking hit you with a knee strike.
You're fucking
deceptively fat.
Your fucking fat loser ass. Your fucking Boltardo ass.
Why don't you grow some fucking puberty for one? Why don't you reach?
Why don't you grow some puberty? See, despite the fact that he did vote for Trump, he should not be able to vote at all.
Some fucking puberty.
In fact, the majority of Americans should not be able to vote at all, based on their lack of knowledge of the political system and, more importantly, just basic logic and reason.
Why don't you grow a fucking vocabulary in that shitty fucking walnut?
I bet fucking Bullfrog can't even fucking pronounce that word if he ever saw it on a piece of paper. Fuck, he couldn't even pronounce or even say saute. That was on the back of the rice-a-roni. And he just decided to skip over that word entirely. Imagine a book. Imagine a set of instructions to build furniture or something. And every time he encounters a word he doesn't know, he skips over it. He's not going to have a well-built bed by the end of it.
Why don't you reach the age of 21? Let me know when you're old enough to fucking drink.
Why don't you start having sex with people over the age of 21, you fucking...
That was a fucking good line.
Let me know when you drink your. Let me know when you drink your first alcohol.
I have.
When you've drinked your first alcohol, you mean when you've had your first drink? It sounds to me like it's Bullfrog who's never had a drink.
And you know what? I can probably handle it better than you.
No, let me.
I also find it comical that Bullfrog's like, well, tell me when you can finally buy it legally. It's like, that's for squares, buddy. You know, I was able to buy alcohol when I was fucking, 17, 18? So that's a badge of honor to be able to, walk into a bar and convince the bartender that you are, in fact, much older without even having to pull out a fucking ID. That's something to be proud of. Not like, oh. Plus, the fucking alcohol laws in America are archaic. I mean, you'll send a kid to fucking to die for a fucking oil company, at 17, but he can't fucking smoke, drink, or vote. Fuck you.
Let me know when you're able to legal. Let me know when you're legal to buy one.
Since when you worried about legal age,
he's gonna get him drunk and rape him. That's why he wants.
Yeah. Since when you worried about legal age,
you have a sip of Heineken Light and you get fucking shit faced.
He's usually giving them, he's bringing a 6-pack of Zima.
Reach the age of 21 and you're able to buy a beer to Rojas, you fucking Ernie wannabe.
There's a few times where you had to take that seat chair, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Ernie wannabe.
Wow, he really got
me. He looks like fucking Ernie from fucking George Lopez show.
All right, we get it. We know. He keeps saying.
You sound like Jim Cornette's sped fucking brother. You hear him right now? He does.
Hey, I'll take that compliment any day, Jim Cornette.
You're throwing around insults, and you're going to say that that's a compliment?
It's not a compliment. Jim Cornette's wife is a disgusting cow, and nobody respects him at all. Like nobody in the wrestling business respects him.
Good point, Beer Taster. Why is this fight on a wrestling review? Probably because Joe let fucking this idiot on. They were essentially talking wrestling before. I mean, Luke Rojas was bringing up Mark Henry and how he didn't like him, blah, 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 blah. But it's Bullfrog who comes in and, if he just answered Joe's questions, they probably would have went back on to fucking talking about wrestling and be like, okay, Bullfrog, what did you think of this? And blah, blah, blah. But, that's what happens when you add this excrement to your call.
10-year-old immature brat like you.
At least I'm not some fucking fat loser who's going to die alone and his family hates him.
You're not.
No, he's not going to die alone. He's going to be surrounded by hundreds of rats that are going to be consuming his carcass.
Not even in college.
Because he'll have been too fat to have walked out the door and eventually would have succumbed to, his demise, just like Pizza the Hut did. Ate himself to death.
And you're just talking shit.
He tries to hook up with his family.
Why would I join college? Like you were in college, you fucking moron. First of all, college is
I got to listen back to that because I missed that. Excuse me. Got that sticky icky.
He's a disgusting cow, and nobody respects him at all. Like nobody in the wrestling business.
I'm not a 19-year-old immature brat like you.
At least I'm not some fucking fat loser who's gonna die alone and his family hates him.
You're not even in college, and you're just talking.
Okay, so he said you're not even in college. It's insulting to hear those words come out of Bullfrog's mouth, because this guy went through school in the special ed program, which he, again, seems to carry like a badge of honor, and acknowledges that he is definitely not all there, and, that he is... Well, he's never really admitted that he's limited, but he's basically... No, this is what he's done. He's stated that he's gone through special ed in school, and as such, tacitly he believes, he won't publicly admit it, but he sort of gears it this way, and I'm sure you all noticed it, is that gives him now full rights to act however he wants. It's the same thing with Tommy, where it's like, well, my autism doesn't define me, but how dare you castigate me for not taking a joke well, or fucking freaking out on somebody, or, a comment that you made. I act this way because I have autism, and that's perfectly fine, and that's not fine. It's not acceptable.
Talking shit.
He tries to hook up with his family.
Why would I join college? Like you were in college, you fucking moron. First of all, college is a stupid thing to join anyway. Go get a trade.
He does raise a good point, is that nowadays a trade would probably be better. Universities are already indoctrination factories. They're garbage. Unless you're going for a very specific job set, like something in the medical industry, specifically surgery, for example, you have to go to university for that. Civil engineer, that would be necessary. Anything to do with the legal industry as well. So there's quite a few careers that require what's provided in colleges and universities. That being said, I would guess that the majority of people, or a big portion of these days, don't need a degree in women's studies with a minor in tribal necklaces. They need something that will actually be viable for many years in the economy. Let's continue. Just a little sidebar,
You probably never.
What trade did you get?
Eats Twinkies.
Listen to Bullfrog try to get a word in, and he's just stumbling over and over. Let's hear it again.
Like you were in college, you fucking moron. First of all, college is a stupid thing to join anyway. Go get a trade.
How would you know? You probably never.
What trade did you get?
Eats Twinkies.
What trade did you get? What trade did?
How would you know you never applied? Again, coming from some sort of, stand of authority. Who does Bullfrog think he is?
Did you get? The only thing you trade are blowjobs at the fucking Subway to make $5, all right? So don't fucking tell me that I need to go to college when I'm getting an actual fucking trade. You're going to go you're going to deflate yourself like a fucking
Yeah, it's also Rich from Bullfrog, who, regardless of his disabilities, which we still don't really know, and maybe that's another reason why he's so concerned. Maybe it's a government, I'm speculating here, but maybe it's some sort of hustle, maybe it's a scam or something, because we know he doesn't work, but he does have time available. The guy could be, for example, there are part-time jobs and stuff where they'll drop off a bunch of packages to you in various industries. And it's like, okay, well, item 1, item 2, and item 3 go into bag that's, colored pink. Item 4, 5, 6 go into the blue bag. And, you've got enough to make 50 bags. I'll be back in the afternoon to pick them up. There's so many, like, these little side jobs, these little things that, they give you a little bit of money and you can do them from home. A lot of people that are stuck home, whether it be, due to lockdowns, due to disabilities, whatever, even if it's a physical disability, they still have that ability to stay busy, to do things that are productive and actually get paid for it. So when it comes to Bullfrog here, this is, well, let's continue.
balloon and fly around the room.
You probably never had a fucking blowjob.
Here's what would happen.
This is hilarious. This goes to show, I think, that Bullfrog is a virgin. Because the way that he's talking to Luke Rojas, I believe, has admitted on air multiple times that he had a girlfriend. This was back when he was, I think he's 18 now. So, and he's been calling in, I guess, for 4 years, something like that, 3-4 years maybe. And from what I remember, he's admitted that he had a girlfriend and that he was, sexually active. So for him, for Bullfrog to say this, you can see that he's just reaching for straws here, grasping at straws, I should say. And it gets tiring because, this guy won't take a hint, and he actually won't leave people alone. And he'll keep coming back, acting as if nothing ever happened. Or, like he did at the beginning of this, where it's like, no. As if, like, oh, Bullfrog, I thought you were going away. No. Like, I fooled you.
What would happen? I would take my fucking knees and I would smash them into your fucking nose.
Don't get excited. He said knees.
Yeah, don't get it.
That's funny, as opposed to niece,
Excited.
which is Bullfrog's favorite type of meat.
Rojas.
Wow.
Right, you got
my fucking knees and I would smash them into your fucking nose.
Don't get excited. He said knees.
Yeah, don't get excited, Rojas.
Wow.
Right, you got him going again.
He wasn't even listening. He wasn't even listening to what what Luke said. And everyone's just shaking their head at this point.
Knees.
Wow. Oh my God. Knees.
He thinks I'm talking to you.
Bullfrog, you're a mess, bro. You are a mess, Bullfrog. You're
Anyway,
a liar,
I'm not
Bullfrog.
Talking to this
He is.
fucking 19-year-old loser.
You've been talking to me for like 10 minutes, so you're just an idiot at this point.
Yeah, you're just a 19-year-old.
You're just. I'm gonna repeat my insult again. Repetition. And he's gonna say you're a 19-year-old. This kid has had jobs. This kid went through school without, the leg up from the state to say, well, we don't want the bad numbers showing how many people are failing. So, hey, you illiterate fat fuck. Here's your fucking your diploma. Get the fuck out of the school.
Let me know when you reach the age of 21, okay, there, little boy. Let me know when you reach the age of 21.
I thought you liked little boys, or was that only little boys?
Then he won't talk to
Go fuck yourself.
I mean, Bullfrog, you lied like a week, like literally only a week and a half ago.
I lied, so what? So fucking sue me.
Is that a challenge, Bullfrog? Is that a challenge? I mean, technically, slander is a lie. It's a knowing lie. And you can sue people for slander. That's, civil court is all about that. This guy said this about me on a TV broadcast. He knows that it was wrong, and he went ahead and said it anyways. Okay, well, sir, did you know it was wrong? Well, yes, but okay, well, this court finds in the cause of the defendant, we award him $800,000 plus legal fees. Case closed. Next case. That's how it works, Bullfrog.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
You will.
So I said you were going to do this, and so did everybody. And you.
So did everyone. I'm getting so tired of hearing this shit on these Joe clips. So didn't everyone. No, so did everyone. That's how it works. So didn't everyone. Let's listen to that. Joe, go back to school.
Boys, or was that only little boys?
Then he won't talk to you.
Go fuck yourself.
I mean, Bullfrog, you lied like a week, like literally only a week and a half ago.
I lied, so what? So fucking sue me.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
You will.
So I said you were going to do this, and so did everybody.
And so did everyone. Not so didn't everyone. Some of these... Look, if you want to call me a grammar Nazi, then please at least buy me the uniform so I can wear it with pride. Because... And I would go on a full rant on these people. Because... Look, English is not my first language, and I literally speak Spanish all the time at home with my father. It's only when I go out that I speak English, or when I'm talking, with people, on the internet and stuff. I used to have a job where I was able to speak French as well. And I'm getting rusty there, and I'd like to take something up so I can, even if it's just basic conversations, but, to stay good with the French as well. And, potentially learn a few languages, or because I can understand Italian, I just can't speak it until I can sort of figure out certain root words and stuff, and what are they called, the perfect and perfect stuff. Like Latin languages can be a challenge. Regardless, I don't even know how I got on the subject of language, but I'm sure I'll clue back in.
And you?
Oh, because of my disdain for all these people in this community who can't even speak normally and use some of these terms totally improperly. That's why.
You know what I mean? You really no one ever is ever going to believe you about anything, ever.
I don't give a fuck if people believe me.
But you do. Joe does make a great point here. Joe makes a great point. And I mean, it's unfortunate that Joe, or anyone else for that matter, has to literally break it down to such an extent for someone like Bullfrog to understand. And he still won't get it, though. Because he's trying to literally warn this guy. You're at the point where nobody wants to deal with you. And just me having you around is for the fucking laughs. Everyone's laughing at you in the chat. We're laughing at you here on the call. But you're so oblivious to it that we're going to just make the best out of it. And we're still going to throw it through a few jabs your way because you won't fucking get it anyways. But he is telling them some good information. Is that now that he's revealed himself to be in league, at least morally wise, with somebody like Skunt, and probably in league as well as talking to him and stuff in the background, he is the type of individual that would lie at any point and yet get incensed that no one wants to hang with him, no one believes him, and no one wants to listen to him because they know that he's just going to lie. And now he's obviously circling back and saying, I don't give a fuck if people believe me or not. Until you can't get on a show, and then you go on another show to shit on that first show and say, why won't they let me on? I always tell the truth.
Bro, you know me. I know, but you're going to say...
Bro, you know me. We do. You're the type of pussy that will either run to somebody else and say, oh, protect me from that person, after you literally shat on that person, or just straight up delete your channel or account because,
Say something about like you're having this surgery, and how is anyone ever going to believe that that's real?
I don't
With
give
all
a
this
shit. They believe it's real.
But apparently you do.
But at some point you are
going
to give a shit.
Looking for attention.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk shit about everybody behind their back, and then you say you don't.
I don't talk shit.
Yes, you do.
You call into shows and say shit all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes,
oh
you
my
do.
God.
Okay. This lack of self-awareness also is justification for the actions taken against Bullfrog. Let's listen back.
Shit about everybody behind their back, and then you.
I don't give a fuck if people believe me. I could give a... Bro, you know me. I don't...
I know, but you're going to say something
fuck.
about like you're having this surgery, and how is anyone ever going to believe that that's real?
Jake makes a good point.
I don't
With all
give
this
a shit. They
I don't give a shit, but you do.
believe it's real.
But apparently you do.
But at some point you are
going
to give a shit.
Looking for attention.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk shit about everybody behind their back, and then you say you don't.
I don't talk shit.
Yes, you do.
You call into
Yes,
shows
you
and say shit all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes,
Oh
you
my
do.
God.
This maybe he's just, since he said he doesn't care if people think he's a liar, then maybe he's just lying now.
You are a
Do
weirdo.
you not remember anything?
Nobody's talking to you tonight.
Again, quick deflection. And this is why you need to allow shits like Bullfrog to basically burn themselves. In a situation like this, where you have Joe and Jake there, mute yourself. You let this motherfucker burn himself from the shit. Because as soon as you enter, he deflects. He's like, oh, well, you shut up. And now it's the quick out that he doesn't have to address these questions.
19-year-old.
You're a
I know
weird
my memory
person.
sucks, but what are you trying
my
to shut him up
God.
like everybody was trying to shut up the Rose the other day because he was right?
Oh. I know what you're talking about. That's fucking...
I don't know what he's talking about, but it does sound like that's what Bullfrog is doing.
Like I said, Joe, I'm here to challenge you for your monetized.
What a deflection. Ignore what I just said about being a liar and stuff. I'm here to challenge you because you, Joe Cronin, with your 67,000 plus, subscribers and, actual shows and stuff you do consistently, you're going to care about someone like me, like Bullfrog.
This championship belt, you Foxborough bitch.
You're not allowed to monetize this anymore. How about that?
Fuck you.
Weird,
you
is it?
fucking-
What if you just?
What are you gonna,
What if you
how you
just
gonna get
said
the
that?
title? I'm not striking out. It's just I don't get it. Like,
Bullfrog, are
that's the
you
thing
ready to
here.
admit
Go
which
fuck
family...
yourself, you little fucking teeny.
It's funny. Jake was just talking to him, and now he's referring back to Luke Rojas. He's not listening.
Bopper 19-year-old fucking twink.
Why don't you go murder your fucking cat already, and then fucking try to simulate some type of sex doll with the cat and like rape its fucking dead corpse already?
Jesus.
All right. Don't
Why
come
don't
at
you
me.
get fuck-
Or
why
no.
don't
Well,
you
first
get-
of all, shut up. Shut up. I'm not 19. I'm 18. Get it right. See, if you want to make fun of me, you gotta call me 18. Say, oh, I'm just barely an adult.
Well, again, let me know
Well,
when you
no,
reach
but let me talk. Hey, bad Bullfrog. I'm talking. So anyway,
You do have to treat the fuck like that.
Bullfrog, what you need to do is why don't you drive down to the local convenience store, buy.
Well, he doesn't have a license or a vehicle or probably the opposable thumbs necessary to operate a motor vehicle.
The biggest bottle of liquor. You'll only be able to have like a shot of it. Before
Yeah,
you're
I'm
licensed.
able to buy liquor, unlike
Like,
you.
before-
I'm able to buy liquor. I'm 41 years old. What if an 18-year-old can actually purchase liquor? Obviously, it would immediately make him more cooler than you.
your fucking lightweight ass
He's a midget.
like fucking collapses after one shot of it because you're a fucking lightweight pussy.
Well, he'll definitely collapse after one shot.
How about you do that? Drink away your fucking sorrows and then just like don't eat, don't do anything, just drink, and then your family will find you in a fucking like an oozy, disgusting, decayed state with fucking
Dude,
cobwebs.
you're the fucking biggest loser on here.
That sounds like probably one of the greatest ends to a story of all time.
Dude, you're the fucking biggest clout.
Like happily ever after, if you know what I'm saying.
With fucking
Dude,
cobwebs.
you're the fucking biggest loser on here, dude. You're the fucking biggest clout chaser motherfucker on this fucking call.
Actually, that would be statistically and factually incorrect. Physically, you, Bullfrog, are the bigger, larger, and massier. I'm making a word up, but I don't care. Individual on this call. But also, within your actions, you certainly are the biggest clout chaser of this community. Because you are the number one fuck that is constantly bouncing from show to show, seeking your little affirmation, seeking a pat on the head, insulting others by your conduct of ignoring them or dismissing them altogether, and then playing victim and, in fact, volunteering others to fight your battles for you, and then making the excuse, well, I can't fight my battles for me, it's hard, so that's why I said Dave Rose should do a tribunal on him.
Bullfrog,
Hey,
someone...
You're a fucking loser.
Clout chaser.
Bullfrog, did you just
Bullfrog,
donate that you suck? Bullfrog, did you just donate that you suck?
No, I didn't.
Why'd you do that? And you donated that you suck off your fucking family? Are you joking with that, or what's going on?
No.
Why did you
dude, I
say you're
don't-
attracted to your? Oh, that's good. That's
Dude,
gross.
I don't
You're attracted to your.
donate.
Well, it says right here, Bullfrog donated
I
to the Joe
don't
Cronin
donate,
show,
dude.
and
I
it
don't
said,
donate.
"I'm in love with my brother's wife still."
I
Bullfrog.
don't donate.
Listen how, again, he's just totally ignoring the issues that have been brought up in the past that got him real panicked to the point where, yeah, multiple times he did quit the internet. But the fact is, those words came out of his mouth, and he was the one that not only admitted that he had a thing for a family member. Excuse me. One moment, please. Excellent. The phlegm has vacated the throat. What was I getting to? That weed is really good. I'll figure it out. I always do.
You're tracking your husband.
Oh, yes, it was the family thing. Not only did he admit that he was attracted sexually to somebody in his family, but that they were actually a blood relative. A blood relative. Okay? Now that is some Alabama, Georgia level fucking, banjo playing issues, if you know what I'm saying. So many a time when this is they've been brought back to Bullfrog's attention, not only has he been quick to deflect the situation and change the subject altogether, but if people won't let it go, he gets very angry and very triggered. But you would think, if there was nothing wrong, because he said he's never done anything wrong. Well, if it was that way, then why would he be so concerned, so panicked? I mean, yeah, granted, there are laws against incest. But, that doesn't stop people, which is probably why there's laws for it. But yeah, let's continue.
Well, it says right here, Bullfrog donated to the Joe Cronin show.
Dude.
I don't donate. I'm a greedy fat fuck who demands that people donate to me, although I just don't provide any content and will literally spend 2 hours on a stream, but literally talk for only 45 minutes.
And it said, I'm in love with my brother's wife still.
Mm-hmm. I don't donate.
Stephanie, her name.
Are you sure it doesn't say, I'm in love with my brother's wife's daughter?
Name's Stephanie, I think.
We're just having laughs, but there's no reason to say the N-word right there. I don't know why you had to keep saying the N-word.
I had to mute that.
That's messed up.
I have to mute that out.
No racism. I know you muted him once, Joe. But...
Dude, it's a fake.
Dude, he just said it again.
I don't.
He just said it again. Stop, bro.
Yeah, but why are you being so racist tonight? Like that's what I mean. We can all joke around, but that's just.
I'll be racist right fucking out. The guy's a fake.
So I'm not fully clear on this. I don't know whether or not Joe is muting. This wasn't revealed to me, but I don't know if Joe's muting and Bullfrog is actually saying something. So I'm going to have to rewind. If anyone did listen to this or was able to clue in better than I'm doing, please, reveal that in the chat. But I'm going to play it back and try to figure out what exactly is occurring right now.
Wife still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't donate.
Stephanie, her name's Stephanie, I think.
We're just having laughs, but there's no reason to say the N-word right there. I don't know why you had to keep saying the N-word.
I had to mute that.
That's messed up.
He just said I had to mute that, but
no one wants that out. No racism. I know you muted him once, Joe. But...
Dude, it's a fake.
Dude, he just said it again.
I don't.
He just said it again. Stop, bro.
Yeah, but why are you being so racist?
It sounded like there was a bit of a mute there. See, I don't know whether or not Joe went back and cut this stuff out. Maybe he did. I mean, he has been getting wise that people are calling him out when he mutes himself. Because, when no pussies are allowed, the first thing you're going to do is try to mute the bad words and not upset the people. So it could be. I mean, he's been forced in previous times to cut out certain music that played. They got the video struck, however you want to put that tense. I don't care. The grammar Nazi checked out 7 minutes ago. He works, 9:30 to 5:30, Monday to Friday. But yes, let's continue.
Tonight, like that's what I mean. We can all joke around, but that's just.
I'll be racist right fucking.
This is why I suspect maybe this is what Joe did. And I don't like just, making this supposition like, well, I'm not detecting this, but it sounds like it's this. Like I said, sounds like things have been cut out. Job's fairly clean, so you can't really tell. If I was to download this particular audio and start to analyze the waveforms, yes, I'll instantly tell. But right now, with my volume level as it is, so it's not drowning out my fucking mic and all that stuff, I can't tell. But with Bullfrog now actually he's proclaiming that he can be as racist as he wants and say whatever he wants, has me thinking that it is quite possible that he was saying something that Joe was forced to mute and then eventually just cut out so that it wasn't even noticeable during the stream. But let's continue here.
Now the guy's a fake.
Oh!
Stop,
bro.
Yeah, but
Oh
why
my
are you
God.
why are you being so racist tonight? Like that's what I mean. We can all joke around, but
because
that's
the
just.
guy's I'll be racist right fucking now. The guy's a fake Mexican fucking spit.
He's a fake Mexican fucking spick, and he was going to say something else, but it looks like at this point Joe is muting.
Oh my God.
He just muted a bit.
And then the N-word. I don't know what's going
I'll
on here.
fucking
Bullfrog,
send his ass
what
to
the-
fucking Mexico.
Oh my!
Oh,
what
God.
the fuck,
I'm
bro?
like the most white bread
I'll
motherfucker
send
you'll
fucking
ever
ice
see.
after his fucking ass.
Like, I'm so white.
See, now, whether or not he wants to claim that this is a joke, first of all, the misuse of government resources is a felony. Second of all, if you are basically threatening an individual with the use of law enforcement and, attempting to utilize that with the intent to intimidate, then that is also illegal.
White that even if I told people that my last name was Rojas, they'd still talk to me about my privilege. All right?
Yeah.
Listen,
He could show up
playing
at the
fucking-
ICE office and say deport me, and they still wouldn't. I'm telling
Did you even graduate high school? You said
No.
you're 18.
See, but you are no one, Bullfrog, to even go with this, to even make this statement. Because, you know what? Most high schools these days, and for the past 30, 40 years, have been fucking just automaton factories. That's it. They put the kids in, teach them what to think, not how to think, and they wind them up like a little robot now that they've washed that mind clean, and they send them on their way regardless of that mind containing knowledge or not. So there are people, and all you got to do is look at certain cities around America. Baltimore is one of the worst, where there are some districts where there is a 93% illiteracy rate. But the thing is, though, the schools keep giving them their fucking diplomas. They keep letting them graduate from high school. And these people cannot read, which means they cannot function in a civilized society. But you're going to just jump immediately on the high school train to attempt to insult an 18-year-old who's doing a bang-up job, just speaking reality, and destroying a 41-year-old fat gastropod fuck without even breaking a sweat.
No, I didn't actually.
So you're a high school dropout?
See, the thing is, though, there are high school dropouts that have made hundreds of millions of dollars, who are capable and skilled, who actually have the mindset necessary to overcome everything. But Bullfrog was given a leg up, a hoof up, and basically just handed his graduation. That's it.
Well, you're a high school dropout?
I didn't.
He probably just spent, shit. These kids, these retards in schools, in the retards class, they're just showing movies and shit. Like, here's some Legos. Like, hang out in this room and talk about your feelings and stuff. Forget about knowing, basic math or logic. We'll give you that piece of paper, when your time is up here, just to make sure you get the fuck out of here.
Didn't get a pity fucking diploma like you did.
You read my mind.
I was gonna say they gave you the degree to get you out.
This is the third time now he's saying high school dropout. I think he already addressed this the first time you asked, which yet again goes to show you are choosing not to listen. You are purposely choosing to insult the host of the show, his viewers, and the person you're talking to by, yet again, showing your contempt for everyone and your total self-entitlement.
I didn't get one from like a fucking a garage sale. Like, all right,
look at that. Luke Ross is a high school dropout.
Hey,
that is a good point, Yig. Cronin is a high school dropout. You know, he did eventually get his GED and so forth. Yeah, I mean, you are technically using an insult on somebody on that show that essentially applies to the host of the show himself.
I've already admitted that. Like, I don't. What are you, an idiot?
Yeah, then you're over here calling me a fucking loser. What? You're. At least I fucking
Luke Rojas probably has a driver's license, which means already that alone makes him infinitely more capable than Bullfrog. Can probably hold down a job. He's not, physically disabled due to his own ineptitude of eating poison. And he can stay active and be productive.
Graduated, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
You graduated because they have to give you a diploma. Or
they had to get you out of there.
See, these guys know what they're fucking talking about here.
No, I earned my fucking...
No, I earned my... What, you sucked off the principal, I guess.
Ago, they were like, Jesus Christ, we've got to get you out of the 3rd grade.
This is my imagining too.
I earned my fucking shit, okay?
Oh, yeah?
I earned my shit.
Let's prove it right now. Bullfrog. Hey, Bullfrog.
Like
Bullfrog.
You fucking Mexican fucking
Bullfrog.
spickhead.
Bullfrog.
You Mexican fucking spickhead. Can you you can't be mixing and matching the insults, sir. I mean, please, the buffet is organized in a particular way for a reason. You just don't be mixing them that way, okay? And please keep the tongs separate to each type of food.
Oh! Whoa! Hey,
put it to the test.
Bullfrog.
You and Rojas right now.
Bullfrog.
Bullfrog.
Bullfrog. What's 12 plus 12? Bullfrog. Go. 12 plus 12. 12 plus.
Listen to him pretend now. Now he's pretending that he doesn't know.
12.
This ain't a fucking math quiz.
What's 12?
This is no, hold on. You don't get to dictate nothing because you're the one who's insulting the host guest, and you're talking big, so you're being called out by the host. He dictates how the show goes. If he wants to just convert the wrestling review into a fucking mathematon, or, what's the term? The kids have them these days, or they used to back in my day. Okay, it's a math festival and stuff, and competitions, and, it's like a spelling bee, but with math shit. Like, all sorts of crazy, cool stuff. Us nerds know how to party. Yes, let us continue.
12 plus 12.
You're the high school graduate. I bet you Rojas knows that.
This ain't a math quiz.
Hey,
yes,
Luke,
it is.
Rojas, what?
No, it's a test on basic intelligence. That's called real life, asshole. That is a test on basic intelligence. Straight up fact.
What's 15 plus 15?
30.
Boom.
Oh, I thought he was asking Bullfrog, but yeah, Luke obviously knows his numbers.
You lose. Bullfrog, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Again, I'm not here for a fucking math quiz. I'm here to challenge you for your...
I'm here to challenge you. So, the countless times, because I've lost count, of Joe and even even Jake, just totally refusing the concept of a challenge to him by you, of all people. What makes you think that now that you're saying it for the countless plus one time, that he's going to care? Did you think that little, tantrum that you just previously had will convince him that, oh yeah, you know what? I've changed my mind. Yeah, now I'm going to have Bullfrog on. Really?
Title, you fucking...
Well, to challenge for the title, you got to know how to do, simple equations.
Well, Joe doesn't want you on the show because he hates your guts. All right, like Joe.
He does. He took my call, so obviously he wants me here. You little fucking 19-year-old.
He took your call so you could be bashed. You know when
hacked
when
the
you're
system.
gone. You know when you're
Bullfrog.
gone.
Yeah, he took your
You know
call
when you're
just to
gone.
tolerate you.
You know when you're gone.
Yeah,
me,
like you're
me
more
and Joe,
popular than I am.
and Jake.
Yeah,
you know when
like
you're
you're
gone.
more
Me and
popular
Joe
than
and
I
Jake
am.
and Beeley, we all talk shit about.
I'm trying to decipher what he's fucking saying. But yet again, Bullfrog shows his entitlement by literally just talking over everyone.
You can be. He took your call so you could be bashed. You know when
You hacked
when
the
you're
system.
gone. You know when you're
Bullfrog.
gone.
Yeah, he took your
You know
call
when you're
just to
gone.
tolerate you.
No, Bullfrog, you're 41 years old. You are not allowed. I'm telling you this right now. You are not allowed to take the statement of somebody else who just made it towards you, whether it be an insult or just a statement, and then just copy it and use it again against them. No. Bad, Bullfrog. Bad.
You know when you're gone.
Yeah,
me,
you're
me
more
and Joe,
popular than I am.
And Jake.
Yeah,
you know when you're gone.
more
Me and
popular
Joe
than
and
I
Jake
am.
and
Well, he's more known, and he's probably more liked.
Beeley, we all.
There's a difference between being famous and being infamous, Bullfrog. I don't think you seem to understand that.
Talk shit about you, and Joe said some
Dude.
really mean things about you, and it's true.
I got more clout than you, Ross.
I
So why don't
say
you
the
throw
worst,
some fucking
I
balls
think,
and
things of them
earn
all.
your fucking clout?
Okay, now this further reveals what Bullfrog really is about. I've got more clout than you. First of all, we know that he seeks the clout. The frog seeks the clout. But he's now claiming that he has clout. This is the same guy who's begged me, I think YR and other people, to be on his stupid fucking alien show. The same one that he literally spends on his ass for 2 hours, and he talks at most 45 minutes, but it's so interspersed. And really, most of the time, shit, people, a lot of the stuff that I ended up taking out was just grunts and shit. That's all he would do while he was staring at his fucking phone and letting the stream go on. There's also the, well, we'll get to that in a moment. We're almost done this clip.
I'm more
about you, and Joe said
Dude.
some really mean things about you, and it's true.
I got more clout than you, Ross.
I
So why don't
say
you
the
throw
worst,
some fucking
I
balls
think,
and
things of them
earn
all.
your fucking clout?
Well, that's something you and I can agree upon, Seaman. I also despise that word.
I'm more popular than fucking JB combined.
Okay, see, now this is taking it too far, okay? Because even people who try to do works and shit, they're not going to try to pull this shit. This is something he believes. Let's rewind a bit so that we get it in full.
Things about you, and it's true.
I got more clout than you, Ross.
I
So why don't
say
you
the
throw
worst,
some fucking
I
balls
think,
and
things of them
earn
all.
your fucking clout? I'm more popular than fucking JB combined, motherfucker.
He says, well, he's trying to say that he's more popular. Well, he's trying to say either two things. Either he's more popular than JB, or he's more popular than JB and either Joe or Luke combined with JB. So obviously, I guess he doesn't understand how to speak properly. But that hubris, yes, I portray myself with a level of arrogance. It is delicious. It is appropriate, justified. But there are many a times where, I sort of choose not to go to the extent that Bullfrog does. I don't necessarily... Okay, well, I'm not going to get into the intricacies of this sort of thing. But, yeah, there's certain things that I can realize. There's certain people that don't like me, certain people that don't want me around, certain people that are totally politically opposed to me, certain people that, don't agree with me but still watch me, stuff. So, it's just the way it is.
To eat my fucking nuts.
I don't know what's
Bullfrog.
worse, the fact that you believe this or
Bullfrog,
No, my ego believes this.
Bullfrog, can you
That's the point.
spell business, Bullfrog? Go ahead. Spell business.
he doesn't know how.
Bullfrog, go ahead.
BUSSINESS.
Wrong.
Oh my God, he can't even spell business. He can't even spell business. So why is he messing with ours?
Luke Rojas, spell business.
It's Bussines.
Wrong. Luke Rojas, spell business.
Number one, Bullfrog. He was very clear. He said at the beginning, Luke Rojas. Can you spell business? Or how do you spell business? He was referring to Luke. Yet again, the entitlement of the Bullfrog shows its ugly fucking mug. And he has to, it's the same that I was told was wrong. I'm just going to double down and say that again.
Bullshit.
All right, it's taking too long. I can't give that to him. Luke Rojas, spell school.
Somebody do a spell check.
That's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic.
Did Rojas go?
Yeah, he pussied out like a bitch.
That's some big talk there, big man. But, you know, why are you deleting your fucking videos and stuff? Why? You talk big, but then you go run behind mommy's apron. And then you beg mommy to go outside and tell those bullies, you know, the kids that you've been sexually harassing in the neighborhood, to tell those bullies to leave you alone. That's what you do.
I think it froze on his
own.
Oh,
okay, all right.
Yeah, get your fucking World War II cell phone to fucking work.
What the fuck?
Bullfrog, business
degenerate.
Business is not
degenerate. You dare call Luke Rojas a degenerate after the shit you've said? After the shit you've pulled? You know what? It's going to be a pleasure going behind your back and contacting your brother and actually letting him know about all the sexual harassment that you've been involved with. I'm sure he'll be very concerned about that, as he will with the comments you've said about your niece, as well as that mystery woman, I believe it's a woman, that you have sexual feelings for, but to quote you, it would ruin your family tree, end quote, because, to quote you, they are a blood relative. I'm very curious to hear not only what your brother says, maybe I'm curious to know what your biological father says, or your biological mother, or you call them your real mother, because then you've got what you'd never refer to as your stepmother, and I was always wondering, why don't you just call them what they are? But regardless, I mean, maybe that's why you're concerned about certain things. Maybe your brother would be concerned a bit about your proclivities, or at least your supposed proclivities. Perhaps you're very scared to have it known that you're a virgin, and in fact, you're not even bisexual. But because you've never had sex and you're a 41-year-old virgin, that there's a very good chance that you can try to, at least in your mind, to convince people that, since you're so ugly and decrepit, that at least you have sex, and hey, if you got to be gay, at least people will think you're cooler than just being a 41-year-old fat troll toad virgin.
Not spelled with two S's at the beginning, they're at the end.
Well, he just went out of business.
All right, well. All right, we gotta
get a fucking cell phone that fucking works. You
All right.
fucking 19-year-old fucking degenerate.
I gotta get out of here, guys. If you want more, me and Jake's podcast is up on Patreon.
I want your fucking bell, you Foxborough faggot.
Oh.
But he already addressed this.
Oh my God, Bullfrog, you are.
I wanna rape your fucking Adidas fucking cap, and I will put my froggy cum in your fucking hat.
All right, what the fuck?
I would wonder very much what your brother would say about that.
Fuck, bro.
Or your mother, or your father. They knew the way you were talking.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with him, dude? Motherfuck of all hell. He's retarded, though. They gave him a fucking diploma, and he can't even fucking spell shit. Can't even do math, can't spell shit. It's bullshit. Rojas is smarter.
I'm sad we
than you.
lost Root there, but, we'll
yeah,
get
Luke
back, hopefully.
He could have buried him right there without him fire. Guys,
yeah,
right
he
now,
would have been able to spell business.
Go to Patreon right now. I'm going to have it up in like 2 minutes. Me and Jake, the Jake and Joe podcast. It's going up. Probably Impact. I hope it's AEW here, so if you don't, because it's just...
Is there any more?
This.
Yeah. No. And that was, again, Bullfrog's appearance on the show last night. Joe's show, his wrestling review. I think it was last night. Yeah, it was. It was his. It's not Throwdown. That used to be on Thursday. That's the Out of Nowhere. So Bullfrog, he was addressed on the issue. He was asked. You said you were leaving, and you didn't, and he totally ignored it. He just continued to try to push this bullshit. So obviously, we've reached a point with Bullfrog as well where not only he's admitting that doesn't care if people know that he's a liar, but he's going to continue to conduct himself the way he's been doing so. And that means that is, the duplicitous nature where he will try to start shit with other people. He'll go to one show, then go to another show, talk shit about that first show, have people try to fight his battles and stuff, and, we're not going to have it. So at this point in time, I am going to be opening up the Skype line, so if you want to go ahead and have your say, please do so. We have 72 fake viewers right now. 31 thumbs up and 28 thumbs down. Oh, my heart, she be breaking. Oh, my. All those troll accounts. So butthurt. I don't know what to do. But, yeah, Bullfrog, how about you call in as well? Let me see if he's blocked. Because I will give him the opportunity to speak on the matter. But, yeah, so he's... so he's not blocked from what I see. Supposedly not online, but, I mean, by this point in the afternoon, evening, he is, waking up, and the first thing he's doing is reaching over to a bottle of Pepsi, and he's just downing that carbonated poison past his gums and no teeth, and scratching his big fat ass as he goes to decide what pre-processed food he's going to make and what TV shows he's going to watch for hours on end. And obviously he is he's available on Friday nights because we know that he'd always try to get onto Monetize This, but Monetize This is now on Saturday. So what he's left with is not much unless he's a Patreon of Joe, but from the sounds of it, well, he won't donate to Joe, so I doubt that he's actually a Patreon. So chances are I kind of think his stinky ass might end up showing in the Falmouth Fire show for tonight. So keep that in mind. He might also even, as he usually does, after a show like, Monetize This or tonight's Fire show, he might just go and stream and, pretend to be the victim, like, oh, they talk shit about me. And then he'll just sit on his ass there in front of the fucking, computer screen, looking down at his phone, not saying shit, trying to get people to call in. Let's get froggy. I've waited 50 minutes. I think it's time for me now to start the show. Fucking unreal. So yeah, Bullfrog, if you want to call in, feel free to do so. Because I'd love to hear what reason you've justified for your return, which I'm sure that you will refuse to accept this opportunity to call in. But I doubt that you're going to hold yourself when it comes to going to other shows to try to garner some sympathy. And I have no doubt that you and Scott are speaking in the background, and as always, your feeble mind is being affected, and you're probably yet again trying to figure out some way to make yourself look like a victim, knowing full well that you are causing these sorts of issues. But I assure you, Bullfrog, we will get to the bottom of this mystery. There is a reason why you act this way, and the sooner we find it out, the better. Because it's clear that you suffer from some form of mental retardation, and I suspect some sort of genetic deficiency. But we'll never know that until we can get the medical records, which, if I remember correctly, and I believe this may have been on YR's show, you offered to provide. Yes, you did. I think, it had to have been on Joe's show. YR reviewed it from Joe's show, where it was like, yeah, I'm having surgery. I'll give you my medical records and stuff. So I think from those medical records, we should be able to determine, a lot of your physical maladies and at least potentially come to some sort of conclusion here, because this is getting disgusting now. You are an individual who's said some very, very vile things. And, just like Skunty, you don't like it when you get held accountable for your actions. And in fact, anytime the police are mentioned, just like Skunt, you get very, very jittery. Now remember, Skunty, because I know you're listening, did I get jittery when I went to the police? No. Did I get jittery when I've talked to the police? No. So I think that should be a clear indicator as to who knows what they've done and who knows that they've done nothing illegal. Nicky Nines actually talked about it earlier today. I check everything, I can't remember the phrase he used, but it was along the lines where I do my homework and that, I follow the law. I know the law, and thus I follow it. You, however, reveal your stupidity by saying, yeah, okay, well, I committed that crime of, threatening physical harm or death on someone, but, I didn't act on it, or I'm too far away, so that makes it perfectly fine. Forget the actual legality of the matter. Just believe me for it. Take my word. Trust me, mon. 3,000%, mon. You're fucking pathetic, Scott. You're fucking pathetic. And, you are a sad sack. We'll see what your sister has to say on Monday. Hopefully sooner, but that's what I'm told is the delivery date of the battery. And hopefully the idiot that made the mistake will actually be able to drive it right to where I am, so I don't have to fucking go nowhere. But yeah, once I got that done, well, maybe that's the thing though. If I'd prefer that than just try to use a computer to log into my Instagram and potentially fuck up the password and stuff. So yeah, I'll wait till I have the phone. It's no rush. She can always reach me on Skype if she wants, but the fact is that I'm willing to listen to what Nikki has to say and give her my advice in regards to what options she does have available. But, it's not going to change, the path that you've taken, Scott. And you can make all these religious videos and stuff and, repost religious videos because you're not making content yourself. But, with your channel, for example, your hypersoinic, she never spelled properly, you've uploaded 2 videos recently, 2 days ago, called The Sin of Pride. And if you listen to these videos, the person who's speaking really is just an idiot, plain and simple. There's also a lot of repetition, which proves the idiocy factor. But it reveals where you're standing, Scott, and what you're trying to project. So you can, I love it how, and everyone sees this too, but by trying to project this sort of air of reformation, that you have repented, you really reveal yourself and how disingenuous, how fake you are. So, again, you need to get off the internet. It's as simple as that. You need to get off the internet. You need to just fix yourself. But if you think that you can continue on and, COVID's not affecting the legal system, so I'm just going to go right back to the way I was doing things. Okay. But, more people today are much more aware of the situation, about the reality. The admission from your sister that she's been in communication with him, that she's well aware of his liver failure, and that she's attempted multiple times to get help for this guy, and that he actively refuses to do so. So people are much more aware of the actual reality of the situation now. And also realize that when Scott was trying to portray himself as a victim for the wellness checks, it wasn't so. It wasn't because it was a victim. It was because his own fucking sister was worried about him. And, he tries to make it out like it's funny. He says, "Oh, they were sent for the wellness check." But I asked them about all this stuff for the YouTube stuff. Yeah, those are the same guys working on that case, or like, are you that stupid, Scott? No, you're that scared because you realized how much illegal shit you've done. So you try to pass it off like, well, they had no intel on that. That's another tell that you got. Yeah, you're trying to make yourself sound big and bad. Oh, yeah, I'm using the word intel, so therefore you got to trust me. Trust me, Mon, 3,000%. I think it was Nikki Nines who was saying this earlier today, but you've been destroyed, Scott. You have no relevance anymore, and no matter how you try your way, to get your way back into this community, it won't be successful. You've been exposed as the skunt that cries Wolfpack, and nobody believes you anymore. Just like Bullfrog, nobody believes you. Let's take our first call. Welcome, Travis TLC.
What's up, Davey?
Not bad, actually. I'm, really excited for tonight. Through only less than 3 hours remain before we make Friday great again.
Yeah, that should be good. I'm looking forward to whatever that's going to be.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm just recovering today from my vaccine shot from Bill Gates,
Oof.
Yeah, I know. From Dr. President Bill Gates, I got it today, or got it yesterday. The final one, so I'll probably be dead in a week, Dave.
Who knows? Maybe you got the non-poison one from China. They need their assets working, so they're going to slip in the good one for you so that you can continue operations.
Yeah, they hooked me up. So this has been quite a shocking show today. I was not expecting what happened.
Well, I'm glad that we're surprised because I did promise everyone an addition to yesterday's feast.
Does anything Bullfrog does shock anyone at this point?
No, I'm not shocked about Bullfrog. I'm shocked about Scott's sister being involved now. I was not anticipating that.
Eventually, his family should be involved to get control of that motherfucker.
Well, you would have thought that they would have gotten involved sooner, but then again, maybe Scott's been doing a good job keeping this private from them. But he did admit that the shaving cream video got to his family, and that instigated some sort of visit from the police as well as interaction from his parents.
Yeah. And I'm just hearing the guys throwing me under the bus for some reason. Like, okay.
And the sister thing and the stuff getting to his family obviously had nothing to do with us, as he always likes to point and just aimlessly blame people for things with no proof, no evidence, no.
What are you talking about? He's got files and files on us, but. Right. Don't you dare even talk about him, Travis, because he'll do another video warning you about not talking about him.
Right, I know.
By threatening to kill you.
No, you got to go back and listen, Bullsy. There's so many times where he's like, you better not, because if you do, there's going to be repercussions. And then that happens, like, well, you better not do this other thing, because if not, there's going to be repercussions. And he keeps moving those goalposts.
Well, I better finish that evidence marathon anyway. So
you need. Yeah. I know it's long, but I know that you Gen Zs or whatever the fuck you are impatient. But you gotta just fucking sit through that. Just like a presentation in school, you just gotta sit through it, and take in all that information. You'll be tested at the end.
All right. So I guess I'm rewatching that, even the first minutes.
Oh, it's 5+. Well, did you watch the 5+ hour evidence marathon?
No, I didn't even watch all of it. I just watched 20 minutes of it.
No, of which one though? Which video?
I think it was on Nikki Nine's video. Or, if I got it right. No, it was not on Nikki Nine's.
Well,
But
the
I remember
one on
getting
Nikki
it-
Nine's
yeah.
channel is the rebroadcast of the Evidence Marathon. So go to that one, and it should be 5 hours plus, and that will give you everything that you need to understand who Scott is.
All right.
But apparently, Bodark said that he watched the entire Evidence Marathon, and then when questioned on it, he's like, "Well, yeah, I kind of did." It's like, well, it's 5 hours. Either you did or you didn't. Got called out, and just like a little bitch, his story crumbled.
Oh yeah, I rewatched that whole segment before I left. That was kind of weird when you brought it up. He was so quiet. I'm like, dude, just say no. Just say no. It was like I sort of didn't like. Oh God, he's gonna have Scott on.
Well, that was good insight because that's exactly what happened.
And Dave, it's completely illegal to assess and discuss someone's public behaviors on the internet. That's a very easily arrestable offense to just simply discuss it.
According to Scott, apparently it is, but he also doesn't see, and Bullfrog, I believe, but they don't seem to understand how the law works, or fair use, or just typical reviews.
Yeah, I got a call from the lawyer, so gonna have to wrap it up, boys. It's all done. Can't discuss things on YouTube, so sorry.
And every time that Scott opens his mouth and says something this stupid, he has to expect to be called out.
Now, if you don't mind, Dave, I'd just like to point something out that I know I harp on a lot, but there's a reason for that. So obviously, I think we've had 2 fake accounts today in your chat. Neither are Scott. It's just, one Jim Leahy and some other stupid thing. It's not him. But the incredible lack of fake accounts here recently is pretty noteworthy, I think. Especially that thing you showed of Bullfrog on Joe's show last night. So Scott was in the chat while that was going on under his Scott MC account. And it's so funny because if you watch what he's saying and how he's saying it and all the rhetoric, and you compare it to some of his fake accounts or supposed ones, right? The writing style, the content, the frequency, everything about it matches up identically. It's literally the same.
And there's, I'm going to have to say, dozens of examples.
Lots of examples. It's just so interesting to me how this just happens to work out that when he's either completely absent or forced to use his actual accounts, there's just this dramatic drop off in a lot of fake accounts. I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them, especially the ones in his favor, obviously. And remember, this is the guy that gets on me and says I'm obsessed and all this stuff about how he's innocent and doesn't use fake accounts. But then you hear him there with Bodark admitting that he was using 2 accounts in Nikki J's chat to play on his multiple personalities, right? So he admits that he's perfectly capable of doing such a thing. So if you do it with Hypersonic and Sonic Boom, what other accounts could he possibly do that with? Just strange how that works.
Yeah, it's a great observation.
Also, his tactic of showing his YouTube app, Dave, this is ridiculous. Because cell phones have this thing called an internet browser on them, whether it's Safari or Google Chrome. And you can just go to youtube.com on your internet browser and totally not be connected to any of your actual accounts that are on the YouTube app. So not really hard to figure out where it's actually happening.
Yeah, well, he can believe what he wants, but he's so sloppy when it comes to covering his tracks.
It's astonishing. But, again, the lack of fake accounts right now is deafening, I think, and just shows everything that everybody needs to know about it. So I can drop the fake account thing for right now. I just, again, want to reiterate how clear it is.
Excellent. All right, Bullseye, you got anything to add? I had to mute you because there's wind or some shit.
There we go. I heard about the.
Now your phone's terrible.
Somewhat.
You're coming in like a robot.
Yeah. Before.
We can't hear you, Bullseye. Okay, you're gonna have to call back in because there's something wrong with your connection.
Yikes.
All right, YR just tried to call in. I'm wondering if he's... Let's try to get him back in here.
Also, Dave, yesterday, didn't I tell you that I completely believe that he is not drinking because of those anti-alcohol pills?
You did say that, yes.
And I've told many people that is only typically given to people in a last-ditch effort to avoid liver failure.
That's true. You also did say that as well.
Anyways, YR is here, so let's see.
The great YR. Okay, YR, unmute yourself, asshole. Hello?
I was just unraveling my headphones. Sorry, guys. So I would like to bring a couple of intellectual statements from YR, which, a lot of times you don't get that. But in fact, unfortunately for Scott, how can we, and this goes to his statement about us or me or the guys over there taking down his channel. And riddle me this, Mr. Rose. Are we Alex Jones? Because if we were Alex Jones, we could take down those videos. But we're not Alex Jones, right?
Well, no, Alex Jones I don't think would take it down from YouTube, but it would be YouTube that would take it down from YouTube.
Yeah, that's what
they don't want him on there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, that's basically, well, yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. Because I was thinking, like, how can, you know what I'm saying? But Alex Jones wants his shit out there. Like, he's not.
No, just think of it this way. Fucking, if you play a certain song on a stream, the algorithm will catch it. You've got server farms that are looking for that pattern. As soon as they match it, it's flagged, and they go through the process, remove channel, delete, blah, blah, blah. So when they fucking have that it pops up on their algorithm radar, well, then it takes action. And I even said this the other day. It probably, happened without even a human lifting a finger, because it's the algorithms that do it.
And I have no problem with, I mean, we can even bring it back to Cronin, how the original reason he kind of blackballed me out of the community with his Twitter situation at one point. And Scott, which I admitted to at the time, and that's how everyone found out. But Scott, if I go strike someone's whatever, I'm going to say I did it, just like I did Vikings. So if I did that to you, you would definitely know it. So enough blaming us to YouTube, Alex Jones, because he was in my comments, earlier in the morning with someone else in there who I don't really want to. You did a good job today, Rose. Just hearing and seeing in the chat what went on today, is unlike no other in this community. I don't want to say the game just changed, but it can get interesting. You know what I'm saying? It can get interesting. And doing shows together type of way without mentioning any names. You know.
I don't.
Shout out to my sisters out there and my brothers, if you catch my drift. All I'm gonna say. So,
you've been adopted by a black family?
No. Oh my God. Hey, Rose. What kind of are you smoking that stuff today? That indicas? The indica stuff?
Smoking the ashes of the dead.
Hashish? But no, seriously.
No, the ashes of the dead.
Well, listen, tonight's a big night. I don't know what time Ken's going live, but hopefully, you know.
I said it. It's 9 p.m.
Well, it's not. I haven't seen the thumbnail up on the channel. I've been checking every hour to see.
Well, I'm telling you.
Well, listen, Ken, it's a long time coming. We've been wanting him to take over Friday nights again. I posted a little promo vid for him this morning. It took it from an old show he did years back when he used to do Friday nights for a little bit starting out. Like, this was from the early days. And because, you know, it's him saying Friday night show, all this. So, you know, I kind of put it together in homage to taking over Friday nights from, you know, FMN, NHF, Rose Enterprises, stuff like that. So it's going to be exciting. Well, no, I'm going to tell. I don't. Probably not. You know.
No, well, probably not. Well,
because we already went live this morning. I forgot we went live early. You know.
Well, there's.
But I'll see what I'll see. What's
you can
up with Tony.
you can steal the 69 fake viewers from me, and you know, continue, you know, with whatever it is that you might have had planned. You know, you got a captive audience. You might as well use what you can.
That is true.
Don't be stealing my viewers, man.
We'll see. It's still a big Friday night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's something to watch, I guess, for some people until 9 o'clock when the real party starts.
I'll get the boys together.
That's why Nikki wanted me to go after him. Like, he sort of timed it with me so that because I still have to be out and shit. So, you know, I wanted to go on after him, but unfortunately I wasn't able to go right after. But it was close enough, you know, within 30 minutes or so, just like I calculated. Unfortunately, I just came home without the battery because the motherfuckers, you know, weren't able to get it.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No, I gotta wait till Monday. How long have you been watching the show, dude? I've been talking.
I've been in and out, though. I've been in and out. You know, Bullfrog. I'm really disappointed with Bullfrog over Bodark, but Bodark knew better. He is playing dumb shits. Doesn't cut it, and I see right through it. And listen, I'm gonna make let me make a statement right quick, and this might come off like I'm an asshole, but whether you have Asperger's or autism, that's not a fucking excuse. You talk back, or not talk back. You know, get fiery and talk back at someone like everyone else does in this community. You're gonna get talked back against, if that makes sense. You know. So whether Bodark, I mean, I heard before he's antidepressant and he's, you know, autistic, all this stuff. That's no excuse for being an asshole.
Absolutely not.
Tommy
Exactly.
NC is one of the biggest assholes in this community, and Bullfrog, and you can tell. And this
I don't know what
dig,
Bullfrog has. I can't say he's got Asperger's or autism.
Well, you can tell there's something off about.
Yeah, you
all
can tell
those
there's something
guys.
off, but
Keith,
until we get those medical
Keith,
records,
everyone. A lot of people in this community, there's a lot of off about him. I mean, Keith's really the best autist in this community. He's the most mature. He's the most mature on the
sedated,
shows.
maybe.
Yeah. He's on the shows. Like, he's not talking over people. I mean, yeah, you get the background noise, but he you know, Keith's a major figure in this community now. He's top of the artist.
He's not spurgy like fucking a lot of other people. That's true.
I mean, it's true. Like, that's really a thing in this. I really didn't know about autism until, you know, obviously Tommy and Joe Cronin in the early years, and then I kind of learned more about it and saw what it's about, and you know, it's different degrees and stuff. But at the end of the day, there's no excuse for being a fucking asshole, Bodark, and all you guys out there. So listen, we'll all do the same shit. We go on these shows. You know, it's one thing We know a lot of people throughout the country and the world that we might not ever meet in real life, but we talk to them on a daily. And it's pretty cool. Maybe we wouldn't call it friendship or whatever. That's a pretty cool thing to know. You know, I know a lot of people around the world. Never met them, but we talk every day. A lot of us talk every day. And it's pretty special, and we can keep it like that. Just keep Scott out, which all of us are doing. Trust me. Any naysayers, any bystanders that want to drag Scott in this community, it's not going to happen. Okay? Y'all saw what happened with Tony a month ago. Totally blocked him from that. It's not going to happen. You might as well, I mean, we said it a million times, you know, but now it's different. Family members are involved for real. And that's not on us. They came to us. Family members came in our chats. My chats this morning. Dave Rose chats this afternoon. We're not reaching out. They're reaching out to us. All right? Very important for y'all to know that.
And what happened to Bodart yesterday was literally what everybody was warning him about. And then it just happened. Exactly as we called it would happen. It's pretty amazing how it all turned out. Bodart was the perfect mind for him to fucking just open up and just spew his bullshit into. He's the perfect one.
He was very vulnerable state, you know? Yeah. And I was thinking last night, I'm like, all right, either Bodart was really talking to him behind the scenes like for a long time this whole time, or Bodart's the type of guy, and there's a couple channels like that in the community where they don't really get any interaction. They might have 1 or 2 people watching, 3 if on a lucky day. And that's not a dig. I mean, there's a couple channels like that. They get a couple people, and then they feel like, dang, no one wants to watch. So basically what I'm getting to is they'll take anything they can get to call in, which maybe in Bodart's situation was the Scott thing. But at the end of the day, they probably have been talking behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, he admitted it.
So.
He's like, I played you, you fell for the trap and shit. It's like, douchebag, you're the one who was fucking charmed by the fucking snake charmer. And you fell for that.
But there are people in this community that do feel like, I mean, I do feel kind of bad because, it's like, dang, if I would have called in his show maybe the other day, when he went live, Bodart, maybe instead of Scott, it would have been me. We had no issues. Remember when he simulcasted? I don't know why he didn't.
Well, that was very odd. I found that very odd. I wanted to review that, and again, coward deletes the shit. But at the beginning of the show, and I confronted with this on your show, but at the beginning of his show, which in the middle became simulcast with yours, at the beginning, Scott was in the chat and he was on the call. Then he calls into your show, Bodart, simulcast, I guess, on his channel, but Scott's no longer on the call. And then he goes back from your channel onto his to continue his sort of simulcast stream. And Scott calls back in, and they take it up from where they left off.
It's crazy.
Dave, you see old Scunty in your chat here?
Yes, I did, actually. And saying God bless does not rectify the situation, nor does it absolve you of your acts. So...
Well, it's nice to see him under one of his recognized accounts again. Forcing him to do that, that's nice. I like that.
But, Keith's police department, I don't believe Keith has done anything, illegal. And these threats of intimidation, not the nation of Intimi, also known as intimidation. No, this is intimidation with a D. And it's like when he did this with, well, he's done this with so many people, but the great example is Keith. Previously, I've called his police department, the Florida Police Department. We know he's in Broward County, okay? Everyone knows that. But no, the Florida Police Department, you revealed yourself from the get-go. From this point on, you can't even say Broward because I'm the one who fucking told you that. You could have fucking researched it, dude. This guy's got a fucking star over his house. But no, you speak out of your ass because you don't know shit. So you threaten people being stupid and not realizing that A, it's illegal, and B, you can easily be called out for it because it's so blatantly clear, so transparent that you're ignorant, stupid, and criminal that it's an open, shut, laughable case.
What am I supposed to do? What does he want me to do? Not talk to Dave Rose anymore, and he won't call Florida police?
Be bullied.
Department?
That's what he wants. And again, it's the same thing with YR. I called the Texas Police Department. Again, Texas, the second largest state in the union. I called the Texas Police Department, and you're going back to jail. He told you, YR, that you were going back to jail.
Well, I don't know if his sister realizes, but he's the one who committed the death threats and all that stuff on us. We didn't do anything that to him.
Dave,
we just review
out.
clips. We review clips.
Check it out. He Scott MC got, I think, either timed out or banned, and look, he made another one. Looks like he's capable of making more than one account. Right?
See, sister Nikki. He.
Well, see, that's the thing. Though. I'm not sure if that's the thing, though. Another Nikki subscribed to the channel, so it seems like somebody might now be trying to fake being Nikki in the chat. Now, if Nikki was able to install Skype on her phone or on her computer and then contact me verbally, so I could speak verbally, I can then have her say a keyword in the chat, which I've done with everyone else, and then I hand them the wrench and I know it's them.
Yeah, I think she needs to be made aware that people are going to start trying to forge her name and stuff like that. Like, we're going to have to look out for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even YR, I think you admitted this the other day. You're like, dude, that's exactly what, like you said this was going to happen, and it happened.
Yes.
But,
we're going to confirm it soon. We're confirming.
Whether or not this is an actual Scott account or not, it is the same wordage and, some of the phrases he said in the past. And I think that's still necessary for me to mention them, where he'll say something like, and if you think you are right and you've done no wrong, I guess you'll learn the herd way. Well, he spelled it the hard way, but you know us. Herd way. And then he says, no, Dave, that's you. So the thing is, though, these are more threats. These are more threats. This is continual. This is constant. It's incessant, and it's unending. And this is why we don't want this to continue to occur. So if we need to rely on the law, which is the last line of defense, well, so be it. Simple as that. I mean, we know that we've done nothing illegal. We certainly haven't called up police departments, hotlines for threats to national security, and then attempted to ask the operator if she was on Tinder. So, there are things that are indefensible when it comes to Scott's conduct.
Oh, look, a third Scott MC account. Man, I guess he is really capable of making accounts. It's so strange.
Well, I thought that wasn't possible because he kept claiming that no, he doesn't have that ability for one, and that he wouldn't need to. He's always telling people it's him anyways, so
Yeah. Wow. It's weird how that works. And he's talking to me. You say you warned Bodark all you dud was threaten him for talking? I don't believe
we went through that yesterday. I've reviewed a bit of it today. I reviewed a bit yesterday. I viewed all of it, well, most of it until he pulled his channel down yesterday, where there was no and more importantly, if we listen to YR's stream, which he hasn't deleted because he's not a pussy, basically you'll hear us say, no. Like we keep telling him during the conversation, no. We're not telling you to mute him. We're not telling you to ban him or not take his call. But we're telling you what we've told you multiple times in the past, which you asked for clarification, is that we've all gone through the same thing. And this individual, we have to question his motives, and anyone who associates with him, we have to question their motives. But we kept trying to correct him, saying, no, we are not telling you to do something. We are telling you that associating with this guy, and we use so many fucking analogies. I mean, I'm tired. But like, we really had dumbed ourselves down, and he still didn't fucking get it. So it's absolute fucking lies when it comes to this whole, threatening and blah, blah, blah. And nothing like that ever occurred. And if somebody even thinks that was the case, if someone's mental state is so far gone that they actually listen back to YR show and interpret what went down with that, well, they're fucking lost, and they need serious help.
Yeah, I don't believe I even actually spoke to Bodark regarding this situation at all. So not sure what he's referring to there.
Well, no, hold on. He's talking about the Jesus Christ situation when you're like, I guess you had a private conversation with them or Scott about the Lord or something.
Oh, that was a long time ago, though. That was with Scott a long time ago. But yeah, I'm not sure what he's talking about. Anytime he throws in the words God or Jesus, I'm instantly tuned out.
Well,
don't care.
If you're truly born again Christian, you put your full faith in Jesus Christ. You don't need medications. You don't need this. You don't need beer. You don't do. I mean, a lot of people pretty much stop. If they're a smoker, they stop smoking instantly.
I'm not a big proponent of pharmaceuticals, but I do recognize that in certain cases they are absolutely necessary. And I say that begrudgingly.
No, I'm just saying, being him trying to say he's some big Christian now guy. You know what I'm saying?
But
if
when you
truly
say you don't
born
need
again,
to rely on religion, well, here's the on drugs. I'm saying Scott is so far gone that it doesn't matter if, and just Nikki has said this, it doesn't matter if fucking Jesus comes down and be like, look, Scott, I'll help you fucking straighten your life out. He'll be like, fuck you, Jesus. Like, he needs more than just fucking religion.
Yeah, I think some therapy is in order.
And I know what he's doing. He's trying to talk all this religion stuff on air. He's posting those religious clips on his channel because his sister is watching everything. And so to his sister, perhaps, it's like, oh, he's doing better. He's talking, deliberate, blah, 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 posting these clips, talking about the Lord. I see exactly what he's doing. See right through it. So.
Well, before he was using, the alcohol and stuff, again, the visits to the hospital, the false statements that he was moving to Ontario, that he was quitting drinking, and we saw this multiple times and stuff, again, sort of reveals his lies.
Sad.
But, Scott needs to understand that, especially with Nikki Nines, like, I'm getting more busy these days, which is good. And, despite the lockdown, there are some prospects when it comes to, getting full-time work again, which is good. But this COVID shit has just destroyed the economy here. 270,000 jobs lost, I think, last month. So, yeah. Things are tough up here, but, that's the way it is. But, Nikki doesn't want fucking Scott to go away. I want to be left alone, but I'm done being a punching bag. I'm done fucking keeping my mouth shut, holding my tongue, and, just allowing this guy to run roughshod over, anybody that's just wants to do their own thing, doesn't want any interaction with them, and then literally is threatened by them and doesn't know what direction to turn. So, I'm done with that shit, and, I'll deal with it where I can. But when it comes to Nikki Nines, he wants Scott around. He wants to be able to further point this shit out and just laugh at this absolute moron. At this point, obviously, everyone has difficulty having any sympathy for the guy, any compassion, any empathy, because his conduct has shown it to himself to be truly, truly evil.
And Dave Rose, I was to the sister, Nikki. I mean, there's 45 Nikkis in the community, so I'm going to have to say Sister Nikki or something. I was the last guy to.
Yeah, you said that even before she got into the call today on a different show, but you're like, there's already too many Nickis in this fucking community. Now we got another Nikki. But yes, Sister Nikki works fine.
And you know, what was I gonna say, Dave Rose? Fuck.
About people in the community.
Oh, I was really the last straggler with Scott. I mean, I did the most. I'm not bragging. I don't want to brag about this, but I pretty much did the most shows with Scott over the years. I mean, a lot of late shows, a lot of PS4 shows.
True.
And I was one of the last people to pretty much let go, and it was hard because you're so used to the guy because he can get you when you're talking to him privately like he's your best friend, brother, or buddy. You know,
very manipulative, and he knows what he's doing. So he knows that he's good at a lot of, well, at least with certain people. You know, now that certain tells have been revealed to people, certain behaviors have been sort of broken down and analyzed, and people have been basically shown the blueprints of his pattern. So it's like, okay, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, you look at the entire map and you see where this is going. You'll be able to calculate with a fucking clock.
Yep. This is a kid on the playground with his pants pulled down.
Okay.
And he was the first to release private names, addresses, started with Ken, me.
He was the first to do a lot of different things. And I mean, I don't think even up to that point there was ever a freak out as bad as his freak out with the cake, like what came afterwards. Because, other people tried to be on shows and weren't featured, and, some people were pissed on air and stuff. There was, fights with Tommy C and Joe. But I don't think it ever got as bad as it did when, Scott wasn't reviewed for that cake. But because it was just so explosive, Joe Cronin, just got, attracted to that, explosivity, and thought maybe it would be a good idea to have him around. And how wrong he was, how wrong we all were.
Dave, I always find it funny when Joe decides to, give a math quiz or a spelling bee to somebody when the guy literally can't do both. I mean, just watch him monetize this and you'll figure it out. He can't even handle numbers that end in 5 and 0. So, I mean,
that's very funny. But I mean, I've noticed that as well. I've noticed that with, even when I was working with him, just either spelling things incorrectly usually I'd notice it on the screen. He'd write something on the screen, and obviously the spelling would be totally off. The numbers as well when it came to adding and that's why, he came to rely on people like Monica and I think Drew to just keep track of all the different donations and stuff.
Yeah, I get that it's he's busy doing all this other stuff at the same time, but is it that hard to have a calculator pulled up or anything? I don't know. It's just, and half of it's laziness. When it comes to the misspells and the horrible grammar and all that shit, most of that is just laziness. That's all it comes down to.
True. Now, let's keep it cordial with Nikki in the chat there. Look, there are people that aren't pure evil in this community. And some of them actually, are good people who care for their fellow human beings. And as such, some of them ended up reaching out to Nikki and trying to at least get some help for the guy. So I think it's appropriate to acknowledge that and, to respect that as well. Because regardless of his, crimes and stuff, I think wishing death on the guy is a little too much. So, I'm kind of more of the mindset that, maybe he can get some help, even if it's against his will. But if it's not that, then, he's going to have to be restrained from the public until those issues are addressed. And this really goes to show my intent, the safety of everyone. The greater good, the need of the many. But still taking into account, the fact that there are mental issues that need to be addressed. And my experience with Scott and the work that I've done with him, trying to help him out and so forth, I think speaks for itself. I don't need to defend the truth. The truth defends itself.
Well, Dave, I think this kind of speaks to what I was talking about yesterday with you, and how, you know, alcohol has been absent, yet all the same behaviors are still happening. So I think there's a couple different addictions happening at the same time. And I think the most dire one that should be addressed first is the internet addiction. I think it's clear at this point.
Well, that's deep. That's more deep. Well, that's rooted. That's a surface symptom. Okay, it's deep root. It's deep rooted into what specifically we got. Okay, you bringing this up, Scott? Sorry, Travis. You bring this up, Travis. Let's break it down. Okay, well, what comes from the internet? First of all, attention, interaction, socialization. Okay, that's big. Mm-hmm. Clearly, this now it gives us a great view on the fact that he feels isolated where he is. Where does that lead? Family, possibly? Friends? Activities? Work? I mean, there's a lot of different things that will then, that, you know, particular thinking channel will lead us to. You guys want to comment on that before I continue, or any other? Well, we can break this down to the fucking fullest extent here. I mean, what else is he getting from fucking Power Trip? He gets Power Trip from fucking the internet. Why? Because we've seen this time and time again. He has the ability now to coerce people without any sort of question, without any sort of repercussion, where he's gotten to the point where he's scared people, making them think that he's got people in the military, he knows biker gangs, that he can hack into their computer, he can call child protective services against them. Okay, so there's the Power Trip now. But where does the Power Trip come from? What is lacking in his life that he needs to, suck out that confidence? What is it that produce that lack of confidence? And that will now add to even longer path. Like, we know the fact that he hates me because of my intelligence. We know that. He's always felt very, very resentful about me just because I carry myself the way I do. And I guess I'm a nerd and I just talk about what I know. But I know about it. So there's clearly that resentment. We've got the fucking psychological imprint of JP from fucking Grandma's Boy. You recognize that, Travis, I'm sure. So there's clearly something that comes from that. So, I mean, we could break this down even further. And I mean, I love really doing this sort of thing and just analyzing the psychological aspects of someone's mindset. But I know that you know quite a lot yourself, Travis, and would love to hear your take on this sort of thing.
Well, I think it's pretty apparent when you just, patterns show everything. So when you look at who he hates the most and who he doesn't hate at all, if you made a list of them, you could see exactly the differences between the people. So who's everyone that he hates? Me, you, Ken, YR, Nikki Nines, Mars, all these people. I could even throw Tony in. All these people that call him out on his bullshit and see straight through it. Now, who are the people that he doesn't hate? Well, there's Daddy Joe. Daddy Joe don't do shit to Scott. Daddy Joe will call him up, feature him on the show with his songs and all that bullshit. Drew doesn't even engage or call him out with anything. So he loves Drew, loves him. Nikki J, he doesn't really call him out on bullshit at all. Loves him, loves Bodark. Bodark doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on, but loves him. Easy to manipulate. That's what he sees in Bodark is, this is a easy fucking target, and we saw the evidence of that yesterday. So just think about the people that he hates and doesn't, and you see the pattern of what's going on here. He hates us the most because we call out the bullshit, and it's so clearly evident. It's clear as day to me what's going on.
Any take yourself there, YR? Better not be vacuuming.
I'm taking a
stool sample.
Saw stool.
I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. But yeah, once when we start to analyze his actions really deeply, though, we could literally talk about this for hours. But his behavior answers the questions that are asked throughout that entire process. We talked about, well, what's the benefit? So Travis brought up a great point. Internet addiction, and we just started on that. There's still the fact that there's physical addictions now. Okay, so let's move on to physical addictions then. Physical addictions with the alcohol for one. So we do have, and we've seen, with the withdrawal that he's experienced as well. And we also see, his current physical condition due to that, consumption of the alcohol. We know that he's also still consuming cannabis, which I am a proponent of, and I do believe that it is better than pharmaceuticals for some mental and physical conditions. But regardless, that still affects your conduct. I mean, some people differently than others. Always very surprised when, Scott smokes weed and he's still a violent individual, because most people that smoke weed, definitely would lose any sort of violent tendencies that they might even have. So I think that should still be considered. I don't know what effect the drug is having on him when it comes to his, I guess, current insight. But, you yourself, Travis, said that okay, what's that? What is it?
When he was streaming, like right around the tribunal, a little bit after, a little bit before it, he was saying he was taking what was it? The anti-anxiety medication, like
from what I remember, it was basically a drug to create a physical condition in you where if you do consume alcohol, it'll create an unpleasant physical feeling, thus trying to push you off from consuming it.
No, I remember that, but I'm pretty sure he said.
Oh, that is correct. You did say. You are correct, good sir. You are correct. You actually, yes, he actually brought this up, where he said that he got fired from his job. Initially, he said he got fired from his job because he was taking anxiety medication, which probably affected his ability to handle heavy machinery. Then later, he revised that story by saying it was people in the community that contacted his work and got him fired. But yes, you are correct, good sir. That first little slip up was exactly what occurred. He did actually state that he was on anxiety medication, and then later, before it being removed from the internet, admitted that, that caused him to get fired.
Which
he did totally switch that up.
And there's no excuse for that, but for what I'm about to say, but you get 3 or 4 Xanax in your system, you say a bunch of bullshit and you forget about it, and that's what Scott does a lot. He says a bunch of shit and pretty much forget about everything he says, when other people call him out for it. That's why he gets mad, because he's forgetting the shit he says that we're calling him out for.
That many times has occurred, especially when he was in
people out too, but
well, exactly, when he was just so deep in the alcohol and didn't even remember what he said. When he talked about me and my family and stuff, and he'd be like, I never said that. And it's just like, no, you did. And we all know it. And we've got the proof of it. So, that's also another thing that bothers him, is the fact that, he committed crimes even under the influence of alcohol. And it's not our fault that he doesn't recollect that. The law is very clear about these sorts of things. What, the law now has to sort of acquiesce and bend to the fact that this guy's a fucking moron? No, that's not how it works.
Dave, I gotta go, but thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for providing your insight to us here on this call today. Very good, and much appreciated.
Yeah, hopefully you're able to have a decent conversation with Nikki, and I look forward to hearing how that goes. Hopefully everything goes well with that. And if I die from the vaccine, then It's been nice knowing you guys.
No, listen, I'm getting my second next weekend. So Travis,
did you try the magnet trick? Did you try the magnet trick?
Yeah, I did it. I did it when you told me the other day, and it didn't work.
Did it work?
It didn't work, but no, it's because I'm gonna get my second one, so I'm gonna do it again.
No.
On my second.
Here's the thing, though. With some people, there was,
it didn't work there. Now.
No, it had injections on 2 different spots, and they put the magnet on both spots, and those were different spots, like quite distant. From each other.
Stop scaring Travis.
But that's the thing, though. If you tried it and it didn't work, well, maybe the magnet wasn't strong enough, to be honest, because there's literally dozens of videos out there of this. So, I'm not telling you to scare you. I'm just telling you to say I told you so. But regardless, Travis can try this as well. And, if a magnet sticks to your arm, that it's probably the mercury that's been, magnetized. But, I'm sure a quick call to... the Chinese equivalent of Q will send the antidote your way, ipso facto.
Yeah, I'll have to get a hold of them. I haven't tried the magnet trick, but we don't really use magnets around here. But if I find one, I'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Chinese people don't believe in magnets.
We don't.
That's right. Travis is calling, after all, directly from the mainland. He's calling from Beijing itself.
I think there will be a victimize this after this program, Rose. Until Ken goes live.
Go for it,
appropriate.
Bro. Go for it.
Little Tony in the mix.
As long as he doesn't play too much piano and talk over people, and tell him the whole S.E. Steve thing shtick is not funny, because talking over people is very disrespectful, and being forced to repeat yourself is also very disrespectful. We talked about this earlier. Stepdaddy Dave, not too pleased with people's conduct.
Shout out to Sister Scott. Sister Nikki. I'll be live soon, so join the chat. Go ahead and give your rant.
I have no desire to speak any further on Scott today.
Right.
I've spoken my piece. I've raised the point that I wanted to make to yet again remind Scott that he won't be allowed to continue his criminality. He's been given the door, he's been shown the door multiple times. He's been given the opportunity to leave. And more importantly, he's been given the option not to be a criminal. If he wishes to continue that, that's all on him. He keeps losing sympathy from all these people, and yet he starts to whine about, why is everyone against me? Well, it's the same reason why everyone's against Bullfrog. Because when you are a consistent liar who would rather try to be controlling and manipulative of everyone, people aren't going to tolerate it. And when people stand up to you and actually analyze what you've done and point out your criminality, don't come crying to us that we're harassing you, that we're stalking you.
Man, that goes to Bullfrog and Scott.
Absolutely. That's what I was doing. I was applying it at least both of them. But it also applies to Bodark. Remember, yesterday he was saying, Dave, if you're going to do a diner on me... first of all, he was like, I encourage you to do a diner. And then he was like, if you do a diner, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your breath because I'm a nobody, blah, blah, blah. And that's funny, though, because the conduct on the call that he had was very sort of unrepentant in the sense that I challenge you to speak to me on YR show. You called in. You brought up points that obviously were valid. I tucked my tail between my legs. I wished you a good day, and then I went on to act like a badass on my own stream now that, I had Scott here on my side, and now we're like an army of two. So I'm untouchable. And then he goes ahead and deletes his channel.
Right.
Right, indeed. And by the way, there is a sparrow who is alerting me. I don't want to reveal this stuff because then this person's probably going to get harassed from Scott, because this is what they're telling me. They're like, I'm listening to the stream. I know he hates me for sure, but I can't even go in the chat without him using a fake name stalking me. And yeah, so basically, and this individual, I'm not going to reveal much more about this individual, but they know Scott, and they've interacted with Scott, and they try to help Scott. And, just like with everyone else, he's an individual that, for whatever reason in Scott's mind, is now another enemy. And it's funny, though, because Scott brings up this whole issue the other day about guilt by association, that I am apparently trying to associate that with him and Bodark. Meanwhile, if somebody goes on, remember this, YR? If you went on to, it started with you. You went on to somebody else's show, or you had me on your show, right? And this is when he was not cool with you. And that's when he started attacking me. I guess that was the last time. Yeah, I think that was the last time. And he was just like livid at the fact, like, yo, man, I'm being cool with you, but how dare you go on YR show, man? Like, that was the last straw, blah, blah. And it's just like, you know, it becomes quite clear where he stands when it comes to that.
Well, we will see, brother. Time will tell. Big night tonight for FMN. I love it.
It's a huge night. It's huge. So, yeah, you guys know me. I can go on forever because I can talk about just about anything, and I don't have to lie like Scunty about it. But here's the deal. We've been now going for about 3 hours and 33 minutes. Nice number. And, got to get a bite to eat before 9 p.m., which is when the festivities start. So YR will be, continuing on the clout train here, and you can tune into his channel.
Victimize This.
Victimize This, apparently, is the video name. So be sure to tune into that. In fact, I'll share the link in the chat with you people so that you can get on over there as soon as I end the stream. But I do want to extend my appreciation for all those that did choose to be here today. I hope it was revealing. I hope it was entertaining. And I hope that the meal today at the diner was satisfactory.
Yeah.
Thank you again for attending our beautiful establishment. We always appreciate our patrons. And we shall see you all next time.